Weekend Ruin, a campaign, collection of occurrences. A actual play channel, as you may have gathered if you've actually seen us, and we play a variety of games, usually on a rotating 3-week basis, to give everybody a chance to GM and play as they desire. So, with me this week, we have, she says, going around the table. Oh, I apologise for the slightly 0898 voice. There's not a lot I can do about it today. Just a thing. That don't dye your hair in an enclosed space. Pro tip. Going round the table, we will start with Night Bites.
Good evening.
Yes,
the resident sort of medic with associated firepower.
Hey everyone, I'm playing Dandelion, who is the rocker boy and assorted morale keeper. Also apparently very good at scaring bikers off.
Hello, I'm playing Hideo, who is the chairbound tech of the group, whose imagination runs much faster than his legs. Let's put it that way.
Spider chair.
Yes.
Because it's cool. So, Molière.
Hello, I am Molière, and I am playing Naboo, who is a media out to take down the biggest and scariest corporation because they're mean. And so far has not been all that successful, but just wait. I will get
in their rebellious phase.
He has no presence. It's fine.
It's paper.
That we know of.
No
That we
obvious
know of.
presence. It's
Exactly.
all covert.
Yes.
Fainting couch.
I never said she was particularly good at taking down corporations, but that's her goal.
One could argue that this is the safest place to do it because it's out of their reach currently.
Exactly.
Yes. Out of their reach for now.
For now. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chrono Magistrate, and I am playing Electrum, who is the resident netrunner of the group and secondary medic, looking to get back the lifestyle that he was accustomed to and has so cruelly been denied. So he has found himself in interesting company in order to help him achieve his goals. Yes.
I demand my privileges back.
Oh yeah, he's a former corpo kid.
You know, I'm Dandelion's amused by this because Dandelion kind of knew it as a kid, but he's always chosen the street. So you know.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Poshos.
We have lost Hint Fishy. Even Fish Not Fish, she says, getting the name right. But we have a worthy replacement, judging by the puns already deployed. It's Chips McGee.
Hi there, good to be here, yes. Chris, also known as Chips McGee, also known as Peyton Helix. Some of you, possibly not, might recognise me as the voice of Chris from the YouTube channel Charisma to AC, where we spend all of our time doing similarly chaotic nonsense, playing games in the World of Darkness setting, where we're currently doing a Werewolf the Apocalypse-themed campaign set in Yorkshire as Bone Nora homeless werewolves and having a grand old time of it. But for now, I'm here, joining this wonderful band of misfits as a new solo, going by the name of Raw Duck. And we'll find out why eventually.
Ooh.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just gonna say it's probably something to do with the Chinese restaurant he knocked over once.
The character is obviously all the characters find this out themselves, but the character is Chinese American. So
Mhm. Okay.
yes.
I'm thinking there's a pun in there somewhere.
No. Basically, and I'll tell you now, mine as well. It's basically I created the character through Roll20, like through a character generation, and it does that thing where it creates a random name, and it came up with something similar enough to Raw Duck that I thought that sounds hilarious. I'm going to make it that. So that's. I thought let's just stick with it. It's Cyberpunk. We can have fun.
Absolutely.
What you did?
Well,
Six
we have
episodes
to.
in, and you didn't realise. No, I'm the GM. I must destroy them.
Oh, well,
I mean, we have to laugh in the face of a dark setting.
Yes. Better to laugh than scream.
I like doing both at the same time, personally.
that's good. No.
He disregards his own personal quest and has departed.
Yes.
Yes, and he's apparently he's taken the van as well because of course
Yeah.
he has.
He has taken the
Mhm.
van.
But we do have 2 motorbikes.
We do.
I thought we had 3
Yes.
of them.
No, we only got 2.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
It's a
yeah, we had
Sixth
one in
Street
the back
gangers.
and one was being
Yeah.
driven. Yeah.
Mhm.
If they didn't run away, we wouldn't be stealing. We would be acquiring from dead people.
For some
Yeah.
reason, I thought we had one on the roof as well, but then I was just
No,
mixing
we-
it up.
we-
No,
we
I
couldn't-
was normally on the roof.
we couldn't quite. I think we did. I think we discussed the possibility, but we only ended up with 2 in the end.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't
Yeah.
get distracted by, a life or death storm.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Going up the buildings you were standing next to.
Yes.
I have to say, the infrastructure of this city doesn't seem very good.
Well,
We
you know,
We are in
If-
the middle of reconstruction.
I would say if you were still living in a city that was in essence the epicenter of a tactical nuclear explosion, I think putting up with some strange weather conditions might be a given.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe.
It's not life or death again, is it?
Oh God.
Oh,
Sunny and
fair.
mild.
It's overcast and hot.
Oh,
can
ew.
live with
Overcast
that.
and
pretty
warm,
Yeah.
sorry. 21
Yeah.
degrees.
Okay, warm we can sort
We
of
can
deal
live
with.
that.
It's
Okay.
anything over 70 and my brain starts going, that's too warm.
Because it's going
It's not bad.
to be 19 degrees where I am at the moment, and I'm kind of like it's a bit much.
I've got 2 fans
Yeah.
running here.
Oh, that's a point. Let's bring that down slightly. I have repositioned my mic.
I could just hear the springs going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
But that's
Oh my
great
gosh.
pickup on that mic if it's at
Yeah.
that distance.
It's not picking up well. I
It
am
is,
well
yeah.
happy with that. And it shouldn't be picking up too much of the fan noise because it should now be further away from my base unit.
The only thing that would be picked up by my mic would be if I took this down.
Oh,
Lit with
Oh.
fire.
Oh,
This is-
okay.
This is
Adorable.
nice of you.
Okay, that is not what I interpreted that to be at all.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
I
I
thought it was a giant
What?
tampon, and I'm sorry, I was just very baffled. Yes, I did too. This is why.
Would
Because
anyone
look at
make a
Beaver's-
plush?
I don't know. All I saw was a white
mean,
thing
I'll-
on a
I'll-
string, and it was sort of
I'll be
cylindrical, and I was like,
I'll be brutally honest. I've seen people make weirder plushies of things.
I mean, look, they're all the virus plushies.
this is, I
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
was
I
looking,
love
going, it looks like a beholder that went punk and just went
Yeah.
off and got piercings.
Oh, I love that. I used to have one of the basic cold virus plushies,
Ooh.
but I think that was
Is
missing. like
anyone
15 years
else
ago.
Fish is remarking about audio glitches. I don't know if
Oh.
anyone else is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound
And I'm
good
not
to me.
hearing, and I'm
What
not
sort of
hearing any
sound
audio
glitches are
problems
you
on the
talking about, Fish?
Yeah.
claw. Audio.
Same
I'm not
glitch.
hearing any audio problems on the
Ah.
call.
Same glitch you were hearing last week. Oh. Or
Yes,
the other
because
week.
I remember when I watched the episode back to catch up with what's going on in this one. For some reason, Drut, you'd speak and there'd be no sound, and then it would all come at once in a kind of. Sort of I don't know
Oh.
why. I have no idea why, but
I think we actually did hear that during game, though.
we
Yeah.
heard that as well. There was a compression
Ah.
issue.
There was, yeah, and last week everything was being weird. It seems to be
Last
picking
session,
up clearly
yeah.
now. The last
all
week.
right.
Last session. Whenever it last happened.
3 weeks.
many,
ago.
many moons ago. When
Yeah, because last week the sound was fine
Yeah,
on part 2
was.
of
Mm.
Strong
Occasional
Dog.
Daleks-ing. Excellent, that's fine. That's probably just me, to be honest.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I'm
That's
still
fine.
trying to get over the dangling thing.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have
Did you
said
have to use
anything.
that particular phrase?
No, and yet somehow it came hoving towards me, and I just thought, you know what the hell.
Oh,
They've corrupted my poor little mascot.
in
I'm so sorry.
an old reference, I would probably only get the Americans. So we nickname it Hanging Chad. Then it's,
Gods. Oh, hello. Current conditions.
I don't know.
Strange.
That might go over my head. I don't pay too much attention to such things.
Current condition. Oh no! What?
I thought you'd already rolled and it was.
Oh,
normal
I've
over
rolled for the next time period, but it was the one after that. When you're next leaving the apartment. It's a what?
Oh my.
Oh. Oh.
I'm going
Oops.
to need to memorize
no.
another big
Oh,
word
God.
to describe it.
That sounds bad.
Is this the part where we all panic, or is this?
It's fine.
Yeah,
There's no reason to
you're
panic.
saying that. You're
It's
saying
only
that doesn't
weather.
fill me with any comfort, right?
No.
We don't.
How has he only
Chris.
just met me?
I have spent.
He's reading me.
I've spent 3-4 years working with a GM in under Charisma Twisty who is just the same. She's totally innocent, except when she isn't, which is always.
Also, he's had a chance to watch the VODs.
Yeah, good
This is
point.
true. I have because because I am a good student and I do my
Yes.
homework.
Scouting
Yeah.
out the terrain.
If you've got a towel handy, you don't need to worry about anything.
Very true.
Oddly enough, that's not a million miles off of the.
Good to know. Oh boy.
You just
And
have to remember
writing
to
it.
spell it right.
The
I'm now going
condition
to be
is
listening out
aliens
for
afraid
Gorgon
of towels.
poetry.
I think misheard that as Alien Afraid of Towel, and now I'm just thinking Spud. Okay,
Oh no!
I think aliens should be. Right.
Yeah. I mean, Spud can be very, very scary.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but adorable.
It's like having a terrier annoyed at you. It's great.
Oh.
So. I've met him. He's fine. He tried to nick my hat. He failed.
Oh,
So.
that's adorable.
It is. You head back to the Rack and Ruin with thunderclaps and lethal lightning strikes hitting power lines and the remains of street lamps. Caduceus feels ever so happy every time a lamppost goes down. Yeah, that sort of thing.
And
You only have to swerve once or twice, but Max manages to slalom his way between a couple of things where potholes have exposed pipework, which then drew the lightning, which then made bigger potholes when they exploded. Somewhere behind you in the street, you see a Chinese restaurant go up in flames as the outside burners catch the tail end of a strike.
No.
But it's fine, the rain will probably put that out.
If my chair
Yeah,
got hit by a lightning strike, would it then overload my brain and turn me into a supervillain?
See, it's
Or
it's
possibly
it's
just
Supervillain
leave you
or-
like
Don't-
you've been electrified in a chair.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
Okay, one, the chair's feet are insulated.
I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to my supervillain origin story.
Secondly, turn you into a supervillain.
I'm not
We
not
have-
super yet. I'm just a villain. Okay, I need to upgrade.
yes, Naboo is as best as she
Stab me
can
for a cat.
filming the destruction as we
Yeah.
return to the wreck and ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially focusing on the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
Dandelion is strumming a tune to the rhythm of the lightning strikes.
Listen to the rhythm
Yep.
of the pouring rain. Yeah.
Yep. Already thinking, how can I incorporate lightning strikes into my backing track?
Well, yes. Every now and then, some joker is there going thunderstruck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if Mick Gordon, who did the Doom the most recent Doom game soundtrack, can put chainsaws and lawnmowers in his backing track, then lightning strikes should be a doddle.
Sorry.
Oh, fish.
Oh, fishy. The moment Hideo is an infravillain who needs to upgrade to villain before he can reach supervillain. Ow!
But
And yeah, I
not
can see
necessarily wrong.
Max feeling at home. Ever since he's left his home in the north of England,
Mm-hmm.
he has been feeling very out of water.
Oh,
So
But,
so yeah, basically, as you get back to the bar, Max is going to get a call on his agent, and as a result, will kick the lot of you out and tell you he'll see you around, and ditch off the bikes from what is, to be honest, his sleeping area into.
Oh, given the damage that one of those bikes had that he caused to the bike, there's probably some oil all over his sleeping area now.
Beats sleeping outside.
I mean, he's got the cleaning materials to deal with that, so he should be all right.
That is true.
And yeah, someone's been paying attention. And
Like I said, I did my homework.
ditches the bikes in Ferris's garage, which is not a euphemism, and
Wish
then
then.
heads off into the fading thunderstorm. Right. So, you can. I'm taking it that you're helping poor old Dandelion up to the clinic.
Indeed.
Yep.
Mhm.
Once we've
Legs are
parked up,
optional
absolutely.
anyway.
You're just cheating because you're used to it.
Yeah.
It's just your nervous system that's fragged. Your legs are fine, technically. It's just your spinal cord that keeps.
Well, I mean, it depends on
sending
how long it's
wrong
been.
things.
'Cause they probably atrophied quite a bit.
I don't know. Like, if you've been doing exercises and things
Yeah.
like that, then there probably hasn't been too much muscle atrophy.
Yeah. And he can, it's not like you can't walk at all.
Yeah.
You can be out and about. You're just not
Very
necessarily up
slowly.
and down stairs too fast.
Yeah.
So
For some reason, I feel like Hideo probably has let them atrophy, given his attitude.
Possibly.
This
I-
chair is
I'm
just too
shocked.
comfortable, okay?
Yeah.
Why would I do, like, rehab exercises when I can sit in my chair and invent something?
That is relatable, actually. Yeah.
Yep, that sounds like Hideo.
Yeah.
it does, unfortunately. I think probably what Cad has to get him to do is he sits there with the equivalent of those ab exercises on his legs.
You
Just-
you
you
just
won't
sit there
have
and
to
I'll
do the work.
run electric shocks through your legs.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all fine here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Electromuscular
Nothing can go wrong.
stimulation.
Yeah. Embarrassingly, I could have looked at the box just behind me because I've got one of those. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a pens machine just over there. Does the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Okay. So healing, stabilization, and healing. How did that just default to that page?
Because you're
Treating
that
a
good.
critical injury.
Well, he is stabilised because we stabilised
Did.
him at the end of last session.
You did. You stabilised him. That was fine. Treating a critical injury. A quick fix and a treatment. A quick fix will remove the injury effect for the rest of the day. A treatment will remove the injury effect perfectly? Permanently. You cannot do treatments on yourself. You can attempt a quick fix on your own.
Which is why multiple medics is a good idea.
It is indeed, yes. Okay.
I was looking forward to performing surgery on myself.
If one of us falls down, the other one can pick us up.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, so you are looking at treating.
I have a mental image of like one of the medics having a broken arm and the other one has a broken leg. So the one with the broken leg does the surgery first to fix the other one's arm. They can fix their leg.
And yes, that's how it would work.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are looking at a DV of 15 for paramedic or surgery of 13.
I'll take the surgery roll.
Okay, I will remind you that unlike previous times, you need to beat the difficulty value. It's
Yeah,
not
that's,
equal.
that's cool.
Is
I'm
there?
cool with that.
I
My
forget.
surgery is 12.
Is okay, right. I was going to say, do you need an assist? But
This is
Yeah,
where you
I
need
mean-
Hawkeye and Trapper, yes!
I mean,
I mean, I would like Electrum would be assisting
Yeah.
you anyway, but
Absolutely, yeah.
just
It-
assist in the rule
Yes.
sense. But yeah.
Yeah.
Would never turn down the assist in the rule sense or in the character sense. Absolutely needs two of us working on it.
Oh yes,
It's always a two-bod job.
Yeah. Yeah, if nothing else, one of you holds him down. The other one stops him screaming. It'll be
I
fine.
need someone to mop my brow, get the sweat off.
yeah.
Yes. Someone down at the bar having a quiet drink, and then they just hear, "Oh God, that was my torso! I need my torso!"
speaking of
But he hobbles down later and says, "It was the wrong leg."
Yeah.
Mhm.
You leaked into my leg. Oh.
speaking of screaming, my body is only 5. So,
Oh,
but my
Oh.
my will is 7.
that's good.
No, so you probably won't scream, but if you do, it'll be like a scared brownie. Speaking of
Like
somebody who has been a scared brownie, so I'm kind of talking from evidence here.
How does the assist work?
Okay, if I
I can't for the life of me
recall
remember.
correctly,
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
you make a skill check in a related. You explain how you're helping,
Mhm.
and then that adds 1 to their check.
Oh, we'll add 1 to the check if I make
Yeah.
the check myself. Oh,
Yep.
okay, cool.
What
Well,
was the result needed for the paramedic?
Paramedic needs DV of 15, so you need 16s.
and surgery you would require 13, you said, or 14?
It's you need 14s.
Need
It's a
14s.
DV of
It
13.
makes absolutely no difference if I take either.
Okay.
Surgery seems more appropriate because you
Yeah.
are actually doing a proper job.
Yeah, I
rather
mean, we are talking compound fracture here, so
yeah.
you know
So,
you're gonna have to open it up to glue it back together.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
I'm very interested in this compound.
Interestingly, is this glue that they're gluing it back together a glue filled with nanomachines? Like a-
Dynamite,
yeah.
No, we
nanomites.
can't.
Nanomites.
Nanobites.
We can't afford that level of treatment. But
You know, that
All
would
we do
actually be
is-
cool. Nanomite, that's an excellent explosive.
We're
Mhm.
just
I was
gonna
thinking,
clean
was
off the
thinking
broken
I feel
bits
like it's
Sad.
going to be,
chamfer
those
it together,
nanobots
and then hold it together with
metal.
the tiniest
Yeah.
clamps.
Yes, yes,
Yes. All right. Yes. Hideo, get on that.
yeah, so
Duct
Electrum assists by basically doing the pre-prep for the pre-surgical prep, and getting anything, and exercising his own surgery skill.
Okay.
So I will roll a surgery roll, and that's a 17.
Okay, yep.
Good
You
deal.
can get everything set up correctly. You can. I tell you, it's full of nanomachines. Placebo brand nanomites. Yes, nanomites for a sandwich spread for very small
Yeah.
sandwiches. You either love it or you hate it. Okay.
Or you're or well, whichever one it was, you will have been programmed to do that.
Yes. Yes.
Uh,
What
Dandelion is
are-
currently eating Nanomite brand kibble while watching his leg get fixed.
Okay, that's fine.
Nabu-
Right, can those of you not chopping open his leg or having a leg chopped open,
that would be me.
tell me what... Oh, yes, it is you, isn't it? That's about it. It's you and Hideo. Although Hideo's studying the hole, going, oh, that's interesting.
Yes, I know in your mind you want everyone in the group to have suffered some terrible injury from that last firefight so that you can feel good about the 6th Street boys, but
They were fairly rubbish. They
I
really
mean-
were rubbish.
they're booster gangers. We don't expect miracles.
They're booster gangers. They need to turn up in greater numbers. But to be
They-
honest,
yeah.
I thought half a dozen was going to be.
Yeah,
fine.
like reasonable, like balance of role should have. I mean, the fact that only one of us came out with a critical injury
Yeah.
is probably
A miracle.
appropriate for the level of
Two of
rolling.
you were hiding, to be fair, the entire fight. Three
Three
of you,
were
sorry.
hiding.
Yeah.
I wasn't
One
hiding,
came
I
out of
was
hiding.
choosing not to involve myself.
Yes. Okay, so what is Nabu's perception?
Okay. Perception. I can never find anything on this.
First
Yeah,
column
thank
under
I
awareness.
am
Thank
I am
you.
holding out
Okay,
for
yes.
a dark mode character sheet. I'm hoping
you,
that we will
Karna.
get one of those.
Yes. It is 12.
Is it? Right. Okay. That's your base.
Yes.
Right
Well,
then.
yeah.
That's fine. Okay. She says going to the wrong character sheet. That's the one I'm after. I always have to have a blank character sheet open because that just makes my life so much easier when finding skills.
I do the same.
I've just taken to using the find feature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
That would make
is
sense.
okay.
It only works if you know exactly what the skill is called, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nabu, something is nagging at the back of your head as you watch poor old Dandelion be split open like a. Ouch. Well, it's you can't decide whether your metaphor should be a hot dog bun or
I'm not a
possibly
biological mechanic, but isn't blood supposed to be in the body?
possibly eclair. Choux pastry is what it initially strikes you as. Just that split.
Yeah, never ever going to eat an eclair or cereal ever again.
And I never even went as far as the yellow fat under the skin oozing out
Oh,
like creme patisserie.
Oh God!
Thank you.
That
Oh,
is-
no,
that is like
that's okay. That's where my
gels.
mind went.
Oh,
Thank you for that explanation. I'll be right back. I need a snack.
Look, I make creme pat. And you're really not wrong in the way that it like
I'm not, am I?
No.
because of the viscosity
Yeah.
and surface tension.
It
Ooh.
is. I'm so terribly sorry. I really am.
It's
I've
brilliant.
only even made it, I think, twice ever because I have to do it dairy free and
Yeah,
the
that-
texture gets dangerous.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine. I'm
It's-
now just wondering what choux pastry in the time of the red looks like, or is actually made out of.
Well, if you go for one of the rooftop gardeners,
Hmm.
one of the vertical gardeners, and they manage to shelter their crops and feed them non-radioactive water, probably grain like anything else.
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about under
people.
yeah under the sort of things that we actually have access to on the street.
Kibble.
yeah.
It'll be flavoured, yeah. Did
I'm
you
just wondering
mention
what-
at all that Drat is at heart a horror GM?
I'm just wondering what kibble pastry.
Oh, well,
Actually-
it's flavored like eclairs or
Yeah.
one. It's just kibble with.
It'd be
You
a
know,
slightly
cookies and cream.
grittier texture, I think, on the pastry.
I love that we're
And-
still talking about eclairs.
Yes, and
Oh,
then the filling would be a paste. It'd probably be a
Yeah.
vegetable-based paste.
Yeah, pastry, if you will.
This
So-
conversation has taken a very strange turn, going from human surgery to yes. How are we going to make this food stuff?
Yes.
We're just planning for if it all goes wrong with Dandelion.
Yeah.
It's all about recycling.
Yeah, exactly.
The difference between biology and gastronomy is very thin.
Well, you see,
all
the
involves too much
quadriceps
flesh
are
and stuff for me.
decent. The quadriceps are some decent meat, so if the leg does go wrong, it's probably easier just to replace it with something metal. And then you've got to get rid of it somehow, so
Might as well.
barbecue.
Do we have any pets?
Well,
Animals, of course, are quite rare.
yeah.
Cats have done okay, because cats are cats.
Yes.
And will accept feeding from any number of households.
Well, that's the thing, because it's like in the CP 2077, there's only one animal.
Yeah, they're very rare. A lot did die out, of course. They were poisoned by the radiation. The smaller bodies can cope less. That sort of thing. So there's hardly any birds.
Smaller mammalian and whatever birds are called, yes. But insects?
Yeah.
Yes, nothing like a good old entomatarian diet to keep you going.
That is an option. And there's, of course, you know, I mean, it has to be clearly marked, obviously. Nobody would ever sell it without.
Yeah, it's
But,
like
Fish. No one says that we kept a solo as a. You don't keep solos as pets, sir. I mean,
I
even.
We didn't used to keep solos as pets, but since we just lost one, we're going to have to start feeding the next one better.
I was about to say, this does not bode well for me.
Yes, we have picked up a stray. That is what we have done.
No one will ever replace Max in my heart.
No.
Not that I liked him, of course, at all.
That's so
But
nice
I
for
don't
life.
trust him.
Not-
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, indeed.
New Solo is-
I could never live up to the sheer banter and chaotic energy that Max brought to the group. But you know, I'm sure that I'll have my own strengths.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Now I have an image of Max in the van in the rain, while an acoustic version of a heavy metal number plays. You know, with the slightly washed out graphics. The slightly washed out colour values that you get for the animal rescue ones, so the you too can support a solo in their hour of need.
With this
Oh, I
little
can imagine that
against the
acoustic
window in the van.
Yes.
No, that's the thing, because it's like now you've actually put me in mind of like he's driving away with all the rain the rain and the lightning coming down, and actually what is playing is like Comme Sous a Toad. It all comes tumbling down, tumbling as Max drives away out of Night City.
Yes. Yes, it's the Lonely Man, isn't it? The end theme for the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm slightly scared I remember that.
So, Drut, this surgery roll. For,
Yes.
Oh right, yeah, we were doing surgery.
Yes, and I had a
our
perception
resident Rocker's
check
leg.
for some reason. Yeah.
Does the dice explode on this?
Okay, your
as
phrasing
long as
could have
legs
been
not
better there.
I was just thinking that no explodey on the.
Please
If
do
you
not
explode my leg,
They
if
do
you explode my leg, that just means that I get a new one,
Both
okay?
directions.
in both directions, but you can
Okay.
only explode once in bed.
Well, I should hope that most people can only explode once.
Oh, you
27.
say that. Oh, okay.
This isn't like The Witcher where you can have a plus 45 or a minus
Yeah.
197.
Open-ended, yeah.
0 out of 10. How am I supposed to do amazing tech rolls?
You repeat the number, Knight?
27.
Okay. You are able to get right in there, and with the
You have removed the leg, performed surgery on the leg on another table, and then taken it back and reattached.
Yep.
Yes, you've made use of the telemedicine tools you've got, the robot arm.
Yeah, I've done it all from down in the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on your phone.
Now,
Yep.
was this also being documented so that you can self-document the documentary of how to do a leg
Absolutely.
properly?
No. Why would you sell trade secrets? How are you going to make a living if you don't? If everyone knew how to do it.
Always record the operations. That way, it can be sold if it turns out to be a good one.
Now I want to know
Deleted if it was a bad one.
there is like a YouTube or TikTok equivalent in Cyberpunk.
Find it in from the store.
I mean,
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
like Dr. Pimple Popper.
I mean, there is
No,
a lot.
no,
I mean,
not going there. No. We do
There
not
are a lot
do
of
the
things
Dr.
on-
Pimple Popper thing. We do. That's no.
Oh, you're the one who brought up the
I love-
Yeah,
I love
really
it.
no.
I love this so much
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
because Tra has no problem with
Okay.
cannibalism.
I have no. It's that I have no problem
Talking about it.
with
Talking about it.
other topics, but there is something about that specific topic
Oh,
that
that's
goes
fine.
straight to the gag reflex. And
Sure.
throwing up
Understandable.
on my
Entirely.
computer, I'm sending you a bill.
Fair enough. Entirely valid. I
But
would
there,
Yeah.
I mean, there probably are similar
Right.
things to TikTok and
Yeah.
YouTube on the
data
in
pool.
the data pool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, today you can watch you can watch operations and things.
Yeah.
When I had an op, I watched the actual op, the same one being done on someone else. Just on what can I expect? Because I had this little sheet of paper, half a page
I
long,
mean-
saying, "Largely, you'll be asleep. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, like fascination with morbid topics means that
Yeah.
there is almost certainly an N54
Yes.
like either rolling channel or regular show about
Oh my
like
God.
medical mishaps or medical documentaries.
Oh my God! It'll be not the restoration. Oh God, what's that BBC one where they take in old antiques and things? The Restoration Centre.
Oh.
Oh God. They always have a
Yeah.
heartbreaking story alongside them. This clock was owned by my great grandmother, who recently died when she fell and it impaled her, and it's now broken. So we'd like to get this fixed. Don't worry about the head; that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So I'm that person that if I ever have to have open brain surgery, I'm going to request specifically that they allow me to watch the screens that they're watching.
Oh, I would. I would.
Oh,
I
God.
actually saw a video of that, and it's like, yes, we need to be very careful with the brain. Gets this massive drill out.
I think-
the skull is super thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just-
Which is a good
just
thing.
the words didn't match what I was seeing.
I mean, yep. It's funny. Yep.
Oh man, that would be a hilarious Twitch stream though. To stream your own brain surgery and be
Oh.
talking during.
I'm almost certain that's hand against the TNC.
Yeah.
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 I'm pretty sure.
Oh well.
Yeah, I don't know.
TOS breached that right there.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know about Twitch, but I know that like certain medical procedures have been live streamed.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, Channel 4 showed an autopsy live, so you know.
Yeah.
So you didn't know that one. We get interesting TV in the
Oh,
UK.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because we had because there was that whole series with Gunther von Hagen.
Oh.
Yeah, with the
when
Body
he
Works,
did-
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh.
I actually went and saw the exhibition.
Yeah, Fish, you're not wrong.
I considered it. I
It was-
didn't.
There was only one part of the exhibit that gave me a bit of a situation,
Mhm.
and that was the mother and child
Oh,
exhibit.
yes.
yeah.
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
And it's like, I understand that there was full consent with all of this,
Yeah.
but it still makes me feel a little bit off.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
But like
Yeah.
the full vein, like the full circulatory system plasticization and laid out on the table.
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah. But then I did physiology as part of my degree, so it's like I have a degree of interest in medical things to start with. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, my only interest in medical things is because every time I've ever injured myself, I've been fascinated and play with my own wounds. So
I have a lot of family and medical related in medicine and medical related fields. So it's unsurprising that my own interest in I have an interest in human biology as well, or did a degree in a related field.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so disappointed when I had an upper GI scan that they sedated me and I had no memory whatsoever of the procedure and wasn't able to watch the screens.
Oh God, no! Like if I'm having a medical procedure done, I want to be under full sedation, regardless.
I used to think that,
I wanted to
Chrono,
see the bits.
until I needed a skin graft. And I was awake through the whole process,
Oh my god.
talking to the doctors as they was doing it, and it was a very interesting conversation. And I could see, I could see the donor side. I couldn't see the graft side because obviously that was behind me.
Yeah.
It was on my calf. But I could see where they were taking it off my thigh, and the tool that. The interesting thing for me there was the tool they were using. I forget what they called it, but it was a compressed air driven thing. But it's very similar to a tool used in leatherwork to split, effectively to split layers of leather out. It's called a skiving tool in the leather.
Yes.
Oh, right, yes.
Basically
Yes.
the same sort of thing.
Yes. I saw that. Weirdly,
I know this because I've played games where I've had to do leather work.
Weirdly, I know this because I was watching a How It's Made on the DM Factory. And there is an entire section, there is a skiving machine, which is the only job done sitting down in the whole factory. It's the only stage is you can because you need a steady hand, so you have to be able to steady yourself on the desk, and you skive the edges of the leather so that they slant, and that's where the term skiving comes from.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, it is because you're the only one allowed to sit down at that station.
Oh, neat.
So are they working or are they skiving?
Welcome community to our CP Red game where we explore medicine and leatherwork.
I do kind of apologise for this week.
Sometimes we actually play games.
Yeah, sorry.
We have to remember the pastries too.
Yes.
Pastries are
Don't-
very important.
Never have it be said that role-playing games don't educate you.
Yeah, indeed.
Exactly.
So having
Can we
successfully
rebrand
done
as
the
an
procedure,
edutainment now?
Theoretically.
well, once everything's all done and
Yeah, you've got the dissolvable duct tape in there, wound around a couple of times, a few staples, bit of super glue, you're fine.
we'll put Dandelion into what we call the recovery suite, aka the room just outside the surgery, where there's a comfortable chair. I'll go down to the bar and announce quite proudly that the patient is classified as NGD. And leave it at that, and I'm just going to get myself a drink.
Hey, where's
I
mine?
think that means not gonna die.
Yeah.
Bingo!
Where's mine? Are you gonna bring me one?
So you
In a
have to
minute.
wait until after the.
I've got to steady my hands first.
As soon as the surgery is done, Electrum is basically going to retire to his workbench and start sorting through the tech, the bags of tech that we we from.
You've got your
from
Poundland Medtech.
From the vendor,
Poundland Medtech dropped by the poor bastard who was supposed to send them to a furnace.
Yeah,
Yep.
I also forgot to send you details off stream about where I was sending the data, but I'll do that after this stream. It's not going to be relevant today.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, that was a fantastic grift to watch as it happened.
That's a lot of fun. That poor bastard, he was so scared.
We had him coming and going, and he did not know what was going on.
Right. Okay, so Naboo, it's only after you've put the camera away and Dandelion is recovering with his foot up on the storage container, relaxing and absolutely milking the absolute amount of pain he's in, when you know for a fact he was dosed up thoroughly almost to the point where I would be making addiction checks for him, but never mind. He's a musician. I think he's got a certain level of immunity.
He's built that tolerance over the years.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to give my
tolerance-
usual response there because it would be dodgy, so I'm going to say I resent that remark.
And
Yes.
occasionally Nabu will spray some air freshener toward the foot, assuming that it's
Don't do that.
soft. I
That'll poison me.
Are you going to
No,
spray
it's-
some alcohol-based air freshener onto a fresh wound? Feel
no,
free!
no, just toward the foot, not the leg, just the foot, and yes, it will probably kill off the highly advanced microbial environment or civilization that has developed on your feet. But if it's going to be sticking in my face, it's going to be sanitized.
Sorry, I just love the idea she
I
sat there
forgot what
making
that-
his feet smell nice.
Why? Well, I mean, what? I mean, if leg is popped up. Leg is much higher,
Yeah.
closer to my nose now. So,
Okay.
sorry.
By the way,
Sorry.
welcome to anyone who swung by to watch Chris. And I do apologise for the nature of this game session, which seems to have gone a little bit weird.
Yeah, hi Heiner, hi Thalmit. Thank you for joining me in my introductory session, and I hope you're enjoying yourself so far.
To the newbies, feel free to chuck us a follow. I promise more gaming happens under normal circumstances. It's been a week. Okay,
Yes.
so...
Okay.
Okay,
I-
what has finally been nagging at the back of your hindbrain for a while? Yeah, fish. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
we could protest, but there is actual video evidence. So
Yeah. Fair.
Oh. Yeah.
So, yeah, something that has been nagging at the back of your skull. Yeah, Hamble's not in the recovery room where she's been hanging out.
Oh.
You know, we all forgot about her.
Didn't forget, was kind of assuming
Yeah.
this was going to happen.
Yes. So.
well, I mean, if she doesn't want the equipment that we've been looking for, then
That we just got brand new.
But
Well,
Did we get
Brand
any
new.
money from her?
well,
Nope.
did she leave voluntarily or was she removed? Though, I think Nabu would like to check with the
I mean,
bartender.
yeah, is she in the
Whoever's-
bar then?
Yeah.
Okay, Naboo can head down. Hi. There's a girl polishing glasses in an act of more optimism than cleanliness.
Hey, do you remember the patient that was staying upstairs? Hamble, I believe.
Oh, the Joy Toy.
Yeah. Well, you could call her that. Yes.
She
Have
called
you seen
herself
her?
that.
Okay, so she left alone. No
Well,
coercion.
she was down earlier when you guys were out. Because that's how I know she's a Joy Toy. She was handing out, like, slivers with her contact number on.
I mean, kudos to her for advertising.
Yeah. Do you have any of
Um,
those left over? I mean, just for professional reasons, not.
You
Sure.
have the contact details of a Joy Toy for professional reasons.
Yeah.
She'll dig through the jar that you've heard is called a goldfish bowl, but they've never, to your knowledge, ever had a fish in. It's the sort of things where people would one day have dumped their business cards.
Yeah.
And these days, it's various shards and a combination of printed and electronic material.
Okay.
She went back upstairs. She said she needed some sleep.
Wait, she went back upstairs.
Yeah, about 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago.
Oh.
I mean, there are other rooms upstairs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I will thank the bartender and head upstairs. Maybe grabbing Cad or mentioning to Cad that I'm going upstairs to check in on Hamble, because I want to make sure she's okay.
Yeah, I'll come with.
Okay.
You think she might not be?
Just she wasn't around when we were doing when you were doing the operation on Dandelion's leg, and I know she was down. The bartender says she was downstairs here, handing out contact information, but I just want to check in, make sure she hasn't been removed against her will.
Sound. Okay. Lead on.
Okay. You can head upstairs to one of the... It's not the recovery rooms, but it's basically one of the long-term care rooms, where you have a couple of gurneys, which is where you had stashed her on the grounds that she still needed an operation to sort out her cyberware.
Yep.
Okay.
She is not there.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill her.
I'm
gonna fix her head for professional reasons. Then I'm gonna kill her.
That is a valid option.
When I bring her
However,
back, she can pay us. Then I'll kill her again.
okay, hang on. The bartender said that Hamble said she wanted to get some rest about 3 hours ago. It's possible that she did take off on her own, but I'd like to look around just to make sure that there was no sign of a struggle or anything fishy, because she might have decided to ditch us, in which
I'm
case
sure she did.
well, maybe. I just want to be sure.
Okay. Can I get some perception checks then for anyone who's looking around?
Possibly, maybe.
Possibly,
Yes.
maybe.
Okay.
Or
One
not.
not.
Okay.
13.
Right.
17.
That's rather better.
Yes. We'll go with body
Right.
roll.
13. Everything seems secure. Everything seems to be locked up. Far as you can tell, there's a chain on the door which technically leads to the outside but has been welded shut.
That's not a fire hazard.
And simultaneously chained. However, 17, you see that the chain is significantly shorter than it was when last you were in here. Almost as if it had been cut and then padlocked, but with fewer links to play with. Also, the welding under your hand is spotty and vaguely warm.
Okay, somebody's been messing with the door, and so these are things. Just so I'm visualizing it correctly, inside of the door.
Yeah, these are on the inside of the door. Basically, there is a padlock, but that's as a piece of extra security. Yeah. This door would have led into a fire escape because it's layers of a strip mall. You can head out through a locked roof hatch, which has been installed. It's one of the ways that they are linked between the different levels now, if you want to. But this door is supposed to be impassable.
Okay.
So someone's messed with it. If it's on a chain, give it a pull. See if it moves when it shouldn't move anyway.
Yeah. Well, the welding. I'll mention that the welding is still warm, and so someone has definitely been messing.
Are you giving the chain the yank as well?
Yes.
Okay. As you do, the whole door pulls towards you in its frame. The spots of welding are literally just somebody has melted a couple of spots of solder.
I had no idea how strong you were. Next time we get into script, you're going to be laying out the fists.
So you can see now through a gap about yay wide between the frame and the door, which is as far as the chain lets it open. On the floor, I will give you this for free. On the floor, basically where a doorstep would be, is a pile of recently melted metal. Basically, I can't remember the term. I want to say crackling, and it isn't. It's something
Slag?
very. It's not slag, but yeah, it's that sort of thing. It's the leftover. It is the leftover welding.
Okay.
Basically, it's where originally spatter covers it. It's where that the original seal has been cut from the outside,
Okay, so
and then inexpertly reconnected.
Okay, let's reassess this entire area for signs of a fight. See if Hamble put up a fight or if Hamble went willingly. Because it could be that her team came to pick her up, or it could be that the other team came to finish the job.
Exactly.
They came to pick her up by breaking a door.
Let's get the others up here as well. The more eyes on this, the better.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm going to head, rather than use the cell phone things we offer, agents. Rather than use the agents, I'm just going to head down and do it in person.
Okay. Right.
Heads up, folks. Hamble's flown the coop. Someone cut in from the outside to take her out.
Right. I would very much like you all who are heading upstairs to make a perception check.
Is that for those that have already done one there? Can we do a separate check, or does the...
You can. You're looking for different things now.
Okay.
This was more passive. There is something not right. Now you're looking for something specific.
Now I get the 17.
Okay, so I forgot, does the 0 count as a 0 or
That's
a 10?
That explodes.
Well then, okay. Well then,
Roll again, add it on.
20.
I got 24.
Oh, there's always some.
I mean, I have a base of 12.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay. So 24 is the first one to spot it. But the rest of you can see it once it's been pointed out to you. And Dandelion's the only one who's a bit busy.
It's probably fine for me to walk on it because it's probably been splinched just fine, but I'm still just like, oh god, whatever.
It's
very comfortable.
Drama queen.
It's got a nice solid external bracket, clamped with neodymium magnets, and the bone underneath has been sealed. So it's probably fine. Just don't try not to go kickboxing on it for a couple of days.
No kickboxing and no sprinting.
Yep.
But that's what I'm apparently good at.
Don't worry, it will be all of those things will be there when.
What the 24 finds for their boo first is a teardrop-shaped drop of blood on the floor.
Ooh. I'm
Lick
guessing.
it just to make sure.
I'm not going to look at no, but I will point out the blood and say, looks like Hamble did not leave.
Might not be Hamble's.
Anyone got criminology?
No.
Anyone got what?
Criminology.
Criminology under education.
No.
I have no level. Do I need at least one
No.
rank?
No, you can roll it untrained.
Cool. Well, I mean, because
Okay.
I've got base of 7, so.
And it's base of.
No, 9.
Okay.
So. Well, I've got a base of 8 for intelligence, so I.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
education, unfortunately.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, no, you're right.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Okay.
Dipstick.
So 8. That would be a 15.
Okay.
Not bad.
Right. Okay. Your investigative journalist skills come to the fore. The shape of the blood drop means that that whoever lost it was moving.
Ooh.
And getting right down, although obviously not licking it, you get a whiff of bleach from the area.
Ah.
Can I take once everyone's had a look at it and is satisfied? Can I get that sample on a slide, please,
Yep.
so I can see if it matches with what we've got on record for Hamble?
Yep. And it's a simple enough test because you've cross-matched her before.
Yeah.
So.
As soon as it's looking like that's happening, Electrum is going to head down to his workstation, and basically start looking at any camera feeds from the area. He'll basically tap into like any local cameras.
Okay, you can go into the local bars cameras. That's pretty much it. Basically, the building that is under the control of the bar. Mm-hmm. You can look into a tower's worth of, so about 3 or 4 levels.
Are there any Are there any exterior cameras on this building?
Yes, there are a couple. There is one that shows the frontage straight down. It's quite vertiginous. But there is one that shows the back, which is, for want of a betting term, the loading area, but it's actually where the kids' playground used to be when this was a combination apartment and shops.
Cool. I will check those first then.
Okay, there is nothing on the front. The blood sample does indeed match Hamble, down to the DNA. And you can get a brief image, because somebody has stopped almost out of range of the cameras, of a large boxy van back, into which a human-sized form is being bundled by 4 guys in suits.
Is this current?
No.
Yeah, no.
That's on the recording.
Yeah, so what was so does that roughly tie in to a couple of hours ago?
It would work. You're looking at a 24-hour recording loop, basically.
Yeah, so as soon as I spot that, then Electrum messages that to everyone's agents and lets them know.
Oh, any chance you can get a reg on that van and ID it?
Is there any way I can enhance?
There's no registration plate.
Yeah.
Not even a vanity plate, and you can't see the side of the van. You can see literally top down. You can see basically the back doors.
Yeah.
Where they open, and a chunk of the door frame, but you can't actually see a van. It's only because you're quite familiar with sort of the transit type thing, because you've just been in one.
Given Electrum's propensity for security and knowledge, I'm hoping that I would know roughly where any other cameras in the area are, on local buildings and things like that. There are a lot of businesses
with cameras. Yeah. The trouble is, you would have to actually get in via their own networks, because they're not on the data pool. They're not connected.
Yeah,
this is the problem with the internet not being a thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Someone could invent that. It's a very useful tool.
I think Netwatch might have an issue with that.
Rabbits.
So, what? Yeah, well, if I know where there is a do I know if there is a camera that would have been pointing at in the right area, like on a local building?
I would like you to make me a local knowledge check, please.
Sure.
I believe it's knowledge local.
Yeah, cool. Oh dear, that's a 10.
Yeah, not that you can think of.
No, it'll be. Oh crap! No, that's worse.
Should have just stopped with the 10, huh?
Well, no, I realise. Sorry, because one's explode. So. Actually, that's a 0.
Oh, okay, well you can go lower than 1.
Yeah.
But even so, that's pushing the issue.
I know who they
You suddenly forget where you are.
Yes, do you know where you live? Do you know where you are? How many fingers am I holding up? What did you take?
In which case, I will then send a message to everyone's agent saying, I'm going for a little walk.
Okay.
You may be some time.
I can't remember anything. I'm going to observe.
As you are typing that message, you get a call.
I answer it. Well, assuming I know the number.
You do.
Do I
You do.
recognise the number? Yeah.
Electrum, dear boy. You've got my toys.
Yes, we have them.
Excellent, excellent. I assume we'd be fine to have you all pop along and make delivery.
Yes.
Excellent. Good.
We'll do so as soon as possible.
Yes, or now, as would be my personal preference. I'm terribly sorry to hear about your friend Max, but never mind, eh? You win some, you lose some. So, yes, if you could just pop along to Club Vibro, I'm in a suite of rooms upstairs.
Understood. We'll
Yes,
be with you as soon as I can.
yes, if you could all come, I may have another little proposition for you, and it might take more than one person. Well, it will take more than one person.
Understood.
Thank you. So helpful. Why is it I can do evil if I smile?
Because you're British. Because we're all British.
Yeah, this is true.
Electrum exercises some of the few colourful words of language he remembers from his mother's. And
they're the last ones to leave you when you start forgetting other languages.
under his breath. And then sent a message to everyone saying, Fixer has requested us to make delivery now.
Oh, by the way, no, Max did not drive off with your case.
Yeah, I'm assuming that.
That would have been very awkward.
It would have been very awkward and quite amusing.
And exactly the sort of thing that Max would do, if we're brutally honest, but there you go.
Well, more if they weren't fussed enough to take it.
This is true.
How big is this case? I know it took two of us to carry it. It was long.
This case is about 4 foot long.
4 foot long.
I do have the measurements.
I'm sorry, everyone. I can't help carry the case. It sucks, really.
In the message I also include, like, Fixer has requested all of our presences as there may be a set.
Okay, we've got two options, folks. One, take both bikes and strap this case between rider and pillion.
How big is the case?
4 foot long.
Yeah.
How about we just get a dolly? There's got to be a dolly somewhere around here.
Well, the Joytoy's already left.
I'm guessing the transport actually isn't going to be a problem because Ferris should probably have a vehicle that we can. Whether he
might well be willing to drive you.
Yeah.
At least to drop you off.
Transport.
Or you go with public transport. Yes, buses and metro and what have you are perfectly valid, and you quite often see edge runners heading to and from gigs.
Honestly, if two of you are carrying the case and I'm up front, they're all going to assume it's just my music gear anyway.
Can we just weld it to the chair?
I make a quick call to Ferris to ask if he has a van in the garage that we might borrow for a few hours.
Okay, let's give it
I think bolting it to the chair is more fun.
An hour ago I'd have said yes. Now I've got a big jigsaw.
No worries, hon.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I confront you train fare, but
No, it's all right. We'll make do. I'll see you later.
Open file location. Because I did actually have the dimensions for you. I just realised it's in a different file. Okay, it is.
1.5 by 1.75 by 1 meter.
That was it. It's slightly bigger than I thought. It's actually 5 foot long.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot I could look back in my notes.
It's
the size of a small adult human.
It's a small coffin.
Really?
Yes, it is a small coffin.
Yes.
No,
And
it's a
then-
rephrase. It's the size of a small coffin. It is not
I
one.
like delivering dead bodies.
I'm sure that an upstanding gentleman like Tremayne has nothing untoward with that particular item.
Ziff.
How far away is Club Vibro? Like, how long will it take us on public transport to get
On
there?
public transport, probably about half hour or so.
Okay. In which case, that's
It's
not
not
actually too. That's not actually too much out of our.
Okay.
Out of our way. So he then sends a message basically saying, "Suggest we go there quickly and then hurry back."
Yeah.
Okay.
And like,
Okay.
there's actual money, to help convince everyone. There's actual money in this.
And
Great.
if we
That trumps the Joto I want to kill.
yeah, and if we displease this fixer, then
I
she
get no
might-
more work.
and also possibly
Nor do we.
vendetta. So
Yeah, you're getting $2.5 grand
Yeah.
for this pickup.
yeah.
Each?
So
No.
No, you won't.
Group.
no,
Alright.
yeah, Naboo is definitely on the side of let's stay on the good side of the fixer.
Yeah, same.
Very powerful.
Same. Staying on the good side of any fixer is a good thing.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
I'm sure it's
So,
helping that fixer from earlier. Spotted who did the good shooting.
oh yeah, Coral is going to recur, even though Max isn't.
Cool.
You know what? I was wondering if Coral would reoccur, or simply because she did witness us also sitting in there doing shit. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electrum is going to organise the group, and we set off on public transport.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I
Catch
think
a bus.
I shall take my usual accoutrement of stuff with me,
Yeah.
just in
same.
case.
As
Yeah.
you're standing underneath a bus shelter waiting, the weather changes.
What a surprise.
of course it does.
Reaches for the mask.
Uh,
Just
Pulls
in
out an
case.
umbrella and puts it over the leg.
Sensible.
An after effect of the Fourth Corporate War. Blood rain is a greasy, pinkish-red form of precipitation, known to carry various caustic substances, toxins, and radioactive particles.
Good call with the umbrella.
And the
Yeah.
mask.
So, let's find
And the
out.
what?
And the
It's-
mask.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, you got lucky. So, it is acid rain, so you are undercover at the moment. For each full minute spent in acid rain without protection, ablate or worn armour by 1 SP.
Okay.
Acid rain does actually go through your gear. But fortunately, this version of Blood Rain acts just like acid rain. It doesn't act like the biotoxin one.
Fortunately.
Thank Frel for that. The bus stops are sheltered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not
They-
stood there for 30 minutes waiting for a late bus in the open. Oh,
I'm sure they've treated the materials of the buses and the bus stops with an anti-acidic,
Yep.
with an alkaline based solution of some
Yes. I mean, the buses tend
probably
to get
paint.
washed down.
Yeah.
This is where I'm starting to get excited because are we going to meet Chris's character on the bus or are we going to meet them at the fixer's place?
I did wonder if he was going to arrive as a patient, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll find out soon enough.
Okay.
Serious?
So, yes, you can indeed get the bus, and you spend your time eyeing up the slightly dodgy characters sitting towards the back, who are kicking back in matching sets of big black boots, black long coats, and who are passing around fully automatic weapons.
Oh, good! It's the Deus Ex Brigade.
One of them glances over at you lot, looks you up and down, and
Are any of
goes,
them fans?
Are they fans? Well, that's a way for you to find out. That is something you can find out. Are they only fans?
The question is, are they his only fans?
Burn.
Not anymore.
He's not
I met a whole
kind-
bunch of fans at the.
You did, yeah.
Yes. I don't think he's that kind of rocker boy, unfortunately.
It's just the role plus the rank, correct? Or was
Yes.
there?
OnlyFans is
Okay.
rebranding now, so
Yeah,
That's
I don't make
13.
these jokes anymore.
I know, it's so sad.
it is.
I'm sorry, I love the Trauma Team logo that's just come up. Trauma Team, because you're going to get shot a lot.
I mean, they're not wrong, so...
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
as if any of us could actually afford Trauma Team.
Yeah.
We we might not be able to afford the Trauma Team, but we're basically like a Bohemian Trauma Team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There,
We're the Chinese knockoff.
there
Chinese
is
knockoff Trauma.
there is basically a competitor for Trauma Team listed in the CP Red book
Yeah.
as a somewhat dodgy outfit to
Nice.
get there ahead of Trauma Team.
Which is also the kind of thing that CAD actually wants to do and set up.
Yeah.
You can also freelance for Trauma Team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
We've probably
take
got the
it to
skill,
them.
but I don't know whether or not we've got the
Credentials.
outward appearance that Trauma Team would want.
What we don't have is the AV.
Yet.
The corporate image.
Remember,
Yeah, no.
when you are in Trauma Team uniform, you're representing Trauma Team. We expect good, clean kills.
Yeah.
Get the client out as soon as possible.
Mhm.
Okay, so Rocker Boy. Skibidi dum. That's the Rocker Boy hustle. That's going the wrong way.
Back in a moment.
Okay. I was just thinking much the same thing actually.
Yeah, we could. It's probably about time to take a break.
Let me just do this and
Yeah,
then
I'll
we
go
can
for
take a break. I love this book dearly, but every now and then I get lost in it, and I'm just going. I know where
Yeah.
where the links will take me, but what
Yeah.
page am I looking at?
Yes, no. I want to say I love both Cyberpunk Red and Witcher, but the Witcher's rulebook is so much easier to navigate with the
It is.
bookmarks.
It is. I will say that. If you find yourself in roughly the right place, then the internal links work great.
Yes.
If you can't find that initial starting page, you're kind of zooming through the bookmarks looking for anything that will put you in the right vicinity.
Yeah.
It's under Getting It Done, page 142, roll abilities.
Just of course it is, because that's exactly what
I had to figure out and remember what the name was too. So
it's not 142, is it? It's
142.
charismatic ability. 444?
Yep.
Okay, determines when someone you meet is already a fan. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, well, there's 6 of them.
Okay.
Let's go with a 1 in 6 chance that you have a fan. If that rolls... Oh, okay. Yes. A big, beefy bloke with wire tattoos on his head and whose eyes are definitely third-party aftermarket modifications. Comes over, holds out his agent, and asks you for an autograph on his data pool page.
Oh, yeah, sure. What's just my autograph, or you want me to write a little message?
If you could personalize it, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Oh, bless him.
I'm gonna write a message that's basically like, it's fantastic to meet you on the bus. Your weapons look like they're in excellent condition. You know, I hope you have a great time.
If you could make it out to Vitreous Meat, that would be great.
Vitreous Meat.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Vitreous with a V.
Cheers. And basically, he'll give you a stylus to do it, so you can
Yeah, I'll
actually
hand-
write on.
Well,
the screen. If it's,
And if there's effects that I can change colors to, I'll make alternating colors for certain words, except for my signature,
That's
which
so
is
cool.
going to be a ribbon of color.
Is that your baby in there? It's pointing at the case.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, so cool. Oh, thanks.
You want? Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care. is this Vitreous Meat? Was he actually a little bit taller than me?
He was taller than most people. He has to duck.
This is
If
lovely.
he stood upright, he would have brushed the top of the bus.
Fair enough.
If he'd actually had any hair, he would have been brushing the top of the bus.
See, everyone, this is why I do it. Because you just make some people's lives a little bit better on a given day.
He is slightly blushing, sits down, grins, shows your signature to the guy next to him, who just goes, and then goes back to cleaning the sniper rifle he's playing with.
Yes, it's regrettable that some people have so little going on in their lives
that they can clean their sniper rifles.
That meeting you counts as an enhancement.
Why you gotta hurt me so? Why, Naboo?
Bug.
I saved your life back there by getting my leg broken. You just don't know it yet.
Okay.
I appreciate you as a team member. It's just your life choices seem somewhat frivolous, that's all.
Like my life choices hanging out with you friends?
Naboo doesn't say anything and just smiles quietly and returns to her agent, poking around.
Naboo is so salty.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
If you cause a gunfight on this bus, it won't even make the news. It's that common. I'm pointing it out.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Wait, are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking just a general comment to the room.
No, we're not going to start a fight.
No, of
I
course
just
not.
made it easier not to get into a fight.
Yes,
Very true.
and Naboo is covering for the fact that, she likes her companions but doesn't really want to admit that so much. So yeah, she's a bit salty on occasion.
Yes.
And she's still sulking about Max.
Aww.
Subtly salty.
Yes. Classic.
Sorry, I've just got to briefly do something and kick my camera into submission. Because
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks
reset
like your
itself.
camera froze a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
it's reset itself again.
Yeah.
I did reset the zoom, didn't I? Apparently not.
Sorry about that. Very minor emergency.
Oh, it's okay. I made a new fan.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, I hope everything's okay.
Oh yeah, all sorted now. Just
Yeah.
something that needed immediate attention, alas.
Oh.
Understandable.
All right.
And we're having a small camera funness.
So I'll also BRB for now while there's a quick chance to do so.
Yeah, I think we will call a break there. So
Okay.
you guys can talk, and
I got summoned for a very important reason.
Lucasade.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yay!
It's a Lucasade break.
I got cookies.
Home sponsorship.
I don't know.
very nice. All right,
I'll be able to
BRB.
deal with you.
Okay.
Barb.
And yes, I shall be right back as well.
I'm gonna eat the
No, I
white
won't.
chocolate one first.
I really want a cookie. No cookie.
My
Okay.
cookies.
Stop.
I shall protect my cookies.
Are they homemade?
No, they're from the cooperative bakery.
Ah, right.
I don't know. You had the opportunity there to lie.
Why would I lie? Then no one would trust me again. I already have enough issues getting people to trust me.
Oh yeah, good point. Okay, let's see if my camera is back. No, my camera. Yes, my camera is back.
Ooh, yes. Yes, it should be all right now. Yeah, it was momentarily frozen there for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was catching up with itself there. Okay. Yeah, that's.
So hopefully we'll be. Yeah.
Yep,
Quick
that's
reminder
now.
for those watching. Now would be a great time to grab yourself a drink, get up, stretch your legs, grab some food, take your meds if necessary. Yeah.
It's so useful having so many streamers on the stream, because if one person forgets, somebody else will leap in. It's great.
Yeah.
But yes, I will briefly take a moment because it's
Yeah, no worries. We shall hold down the fort. If anyone does have any questions about the system, about the game we're playing, questions about the characters, do feel free to whack them in chat, and Robinson and I will do our best to keep
them.
Yes, to answer within the realms of what has already been shown.
Okay. I'm back in a mo.
Cool. Or if you want any questions about the interlock system and the wonderful things that are Talsorian games, we are not sponsored by them, but we do really, really like what they do. And of course, Druttercup is now a writer for them, and you will find more of her work in the upcoming Book of Tales for the Witcher TRPG. Yeah. Upcoming, out now. Gosh, it came out last week.
The interview isn't out yet, though.
Yeah, interview isn't out yet. But yes, we will probably be going back to the Witcher TRPG at some point. I'm very much interested in reprising my merchant. And for those of you who are wondering if you can play The Witcher without an actual person playing a Witcher, you can check out our previous scenario, which is on the Hint International YouTube page, which off the top of my head I cannot remember what the
it's probably linked down
it
somewhere.
probably is. It's probably linked down below, and there's almost certainly a command for it. I should know. Yes, there it is.
YouTube command. How intuitive.
Indeed. As a mod, I should probably know what all the commands are. That probably would be helpful. But to date, I don't. Actually, putting together a list of commands just generally would be useful. Yes, thank you, Fish, for posting the affiliate link.
Organization.
For the. I mean, technically, I'm supposed to be organized, given that I have my own stream.
Yeah, I technically have my own stream. I don't even have a bot in it. Yeah.
I'm not. What? So, what would you want in a bot?
I used.
Or is that a dangerous question?
No, I used to have one, but it was like years ago. It was on the Phantom bot thing, and obviously that stopped updating when not YouTube, when Twitch changed their API interface and stuff, and I never got round to using the new ones that are everyone uses.
Well, because I use because I would have really loved to continue using PhantomBot, because we were using PhantomBot for RQ streams up until they stopped updating. But apparently it's coming back. I don't know if I doubt we'll switch RQ streams up to return, but I might, because it'd be nice to have a personalized bot for Oh,
someone's pressed a button by accident. Who pressed the button by accident?
Maybe Pippin.
It looks like no.
That was me. I think
Okay. I can now take control.
No, it wasn't. What have I done?
All you've done is you've accidentally clicked on the little V share on the top of the window, and you can just.
There we go.
Oh,
clever.
I swear we will meet your character soon.
No, honestly, I do understand. I'm not at all worried about it. It's actually quite fun just to watch all the build up.
It's always that case when you're introducing a new character into a campaign, and it's like, right, they have to meet them at point X. How do I get them to point X without actually starting them at point X?
No, it's fine. Honestly, I don't mind in the slightest. It gives me an opportunity to sit here and enjoy this lovely apple and blackberry crumble. So.
Ooh, nice. Homemade or?
Homemade. No, my parent. So
Oh, excellent. I haven't made a crumble in ages. I've got some apples going spare. I should probably.
yeah,
do that.
it is blackberry season. So
Yeah, I'm not. I don't. I mean, technically, given where I live in London, I could wander out to the forest and pick wild blackberries. In theory, I'm
No.
not sure I would trust them.
no, there are some benefits to living out in the sticks, it seems. But there you go.
Yeah. Is that thing about like, making sure which direction you pick? You pick any berries if you're going foraging. It's like nothing roadside.
Nope. No, it's always walk paths where possible, and obviously try and go for the ones that when you're going for blackberries, obviously get the black ones. The red ones and green ones are not ready, and will not be ready if you pick them now. So
yeah.
Used to have a big old blackberry bush in my uncle's yard. My sister and I, to get to the best ripe ones, actually stomped through and moved away and cut up the spikes that were in our way to make a path to the middle.
very practical.
So there'll be plenty of NPC fixers for us, but I was just sitting here considering, I could always try to go partial fixer route the way that Fish was thinking.
I think. I mean, you're probably the one of us with the personality to take on a fixer role if it were wanted. I mean, that said, I'm not entirely sure. Like,
it's not necessary.
I don't think it's necessary for us to have a fixer in the group, because, like, I put 4 fixers into my background.
Fair enough.
And like, there are plenty wandering around to continue to give us jobs because I mean, because I was wondering about this the other day, whether or not, like, a PC fixer, like, how do you actively go about finding jobs or seeking jobs, or is it? I mean, I guess the GM would basically give you clients instead of us playing the clients for.
Well, I mean, depending on how big we get, it's also a way of taking care of smaller jobs and pulling people in to do, to get us things that we need, or set things up for other people, etc.
Yeah,
like if someone wants us to do this job, but this part of the job is beneath us.
Yeah. Yeah, the main advantage of the PC fixer in terms of its mechanical benefit is its ability to get the other players' stuff as much as to get them jobs.
Yeah,
it's easier access to things at the night markets, and
yeah, that's true.
You got haggle for striking deals, and
I think we need money first, though.
The dilemma of every single edge runner in Night City. That sums up right there.
So reach is the highest price category of items that a fixer can always source, and if they can use their influence to gather other fixers into creating a night market. So could create a night market for ourselves with the items that we need too.
Yeah, and I guess you can make you can make money that way by making sure that there are pitches, and you're selling space and security for fixer in this, and 10% in SLA industries are interesting. You basically put job selection into the hand of one player, and you really need to trust that player. Interesting, Fish. Yeah. Like, the fixer role definitely has a greater degree of responsibility. In that respect, especially because they are the point of contact and the point which everything is funneling through.
Given what Fish said, I'm going to say that I probably shouldn't go fixer because there's no reasonable way that any of you trust me. So
who trusts you? Maybe.
I don't. Yeah, my character hasn't even met you yet, so you know.
But we were talking about player trust.
I mean, player trust, I would trust you to do the entertaining thing.
Yes.
This is my point.
Yeah. Whether
Yeah.
or not you would you would take the jobs that were actually reasonable and appropriate for the skills that you actually have at hand.
Hey, everyone, I got us a job. We got to be ready in like 5 hours. We're running security for a circus.
Okay.
I have questions.
Honestly, I think like our team could probably do that. It would like if we had just running security, yeah.
Like, fair.
Like
Yeah,
Hideo and
we
I
could
both,
do that.
yeah, Hideo and I both have like high technical ability to run cameras and things like that. What we might lack, depending on how Chirps' character is built, is the firepower. If we're required to provide actual hustle.
Yes, we can stop the crime happening. That does not necessarily mean that we can intervene.
It's true.
I mean, we could probably rig.
Explosive devices or something.
Well, I was
Oh
going
my
to say
God.
Get your circus by blowing up
we could
anyone.
rig
that attempts-
we could rig electronic deterrents.
Honestly, with
Okay.
the electronic deterrents and bombs, that goes back to what I thought of last week, which was setting things up that were sequenced to me playing certain tones.
Oh no! I'm now thinking about a weaponized Nightingale floor.
Oh god.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Just catching up. Yes, indeed, Fish. Fixers do specialise in regions, in areas of expertise, specific types of jobs. So yeah, you can have a PC fixer, but you can also then take jobs from NPC fixers who specialise in areas that you do not understand.
To be clear, since you weren't sitting there, Drut, I was talking about considering going fixer for a rank
I know.
and see how that works out. Okay.
I
Wasn't
know.
sure if you were listening.
Because Fish is listening on open speaker.
Fair enough.
Hear throughout
Fair
the
enough.
flat.
Of course.
So it wasn't picked up by the microphone.
No.
I mean, you almost make it sound like a challenge when you put it like that.
Yeah.
I should have said yes, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't worry, it's fine.
Okay, so the bus ride comes to an end. Fortunately, just about the same time as the rain, because you were noting it was starting to eat through the rubber seals around the doors, around the windows. Sorry.
Oh shit! That's gonna be expensive.
Not our problem. Though.
They're used to it. Like,
Yeah, that's Night Corp's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
well,
So you can get out in front of Club Vibro, where you can hear, well, you can feel more than hear the music inside, which is of the aggressive. Somebody has tuned a jackhammer
okay.
Variety.
What sort of what do we know about Club Vibro and in kind of like the clientele and like the level of the level it's appealing to? Like,
It's a lively place with lots of local colour. If you
are
believe
we
the
talking
guidebooks.
Are we talking lively in the sense of like the Totentans, or?
It's lively as in this is where the construction workers come to drink after hours. You are back in the Glen, so you're basically around the construction areas.
Oh.
So Club Vibro tends to be where your clinic is on the border of the Glen, and you're slightly further in now.
Does this mean that it's frequented by? I'm guessing frequented more by Zarafa workers than Zarafa execs.
Oh yeah, no
Okay.
exec could be seen dead down here unless they
cool.
were doing a hard hat tour with at least 3 media.
Cool. All right then, that's fine.
No, you're all right.
I don't have to be that on edge.
No, it's where various, usually construction workers drink, who turn up to get blitzed out of their brains on relatively cheap, but probably not actually toxic booze.
Cool.
They allegedly have an authentic vodka distillery.
Ah,
They apparently have a deal with
that's
one of...
not hard.
Yeah. Allegedly, they have a deal with one of the rooftop... I was going to say rooftop farmers.
I was thinking it.
With one of the rooftop gardening collectives. Thank you for the word, sorry. Where their spare potatoes on the turn go to the vodka distillery.
Oh, right, okay. So we're talking basically Pachin.
Yeah,
It's
proper
fine.
vodka, classic vodka.
Actual vodka, yeah. They even claim that if you sprinkle ash on it, it gives the same effect as black pepper.
Oh, lovely. Yes. If only they get their hands on some ginger beer, they can get some Moscow mules.
You can get ginger flavoured beer.
Well, I suppose that's the closest they're going to get. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I like ginger ale, so ginger beer couldn't be too different.
Yes, if you use knockoff beer, in 1960, they probably call it a Moscow Jackass.
Yes.
Yeah, Shard, the difference between ginger flavored beer and ginger beer is actually quite significant.
Oh no, I said that purposefully talking out of my butt.
What an astonishing feat of ventriloquism.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for those of you not familiar with authentic British ginger beer, approach with caution.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
It's
It is.
wonderful. I love it.
It will also take your head off if you're
Yeah.
not expecting it.
But
That's the kind of drink I like.
It's along the lines of people allowing their American friends to put huge, great scoops of English mustard on their hot dogs.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
I have
No,
seen
see-
it.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Those are not good friends.
No.
No.
It's the right
What's wrong
acid.
with putting large scoops of English mustard on your hot dog?
See,
Yeah,
I mean,
but people with actual taste, and I do mean that literally.
Mhm.
see, that doesn't bother me because I wouldn't put mustard on a hot dog anyway.
Ah.
Also, I wouldn't eat a hot dog. But if you tried to get me to do so, I'd pretend to do so until someone's tried to stop me. And if they didn't stop me, I'd be like, you know what, fine.
Yeah. Also, I should point out, for the sake of it, most of my online friends these days are Danish. You can always tell they're good friends because they are the ones that will tease you the most mercilessly.
Oh, the Danes are great.
Oh, they are, absolutely. Love them to bits.
Oh, did you actually just say that, Shard?
Say what?
That the Danes are great? As in Great
Oh,
Danes?
I guess I did. I guess I did.
You didn't even know you were saying it.
That one passed all of us. Well done.
Yeah.
Bravo,
Yeah.
Shard. That was
Yeah.
I'm
well
just
done.
always on the lookout for being punned at.
I feel so ashamed that I missed a dog pun and I had to say.
I know! You should be. Oh dear.
Yes. And usually on those like a
Myself
terrier. I'll get my coat and go. Thanks for the session, guys.
Right.
Yes. So
Okay, so you head in.
Yes, we head in. I'm guessing bouncers don't exactly put up when they've been told to expect a group.
They look you over. Nobody complains that you're not wearing trainers. You see in the corner there are people actually holding out some, steel toe cap combat boots for punters to change into, that sort of thing. You can head straight in.
Semi-flash gear.
A young lady in
urban
more,
flash. Yeah.
a young lady in more studs than leather wanders up and starts telling you about how many drinks minimum it is for the cover charge. And
we're not here for dancing and singing.
What?
We're here to deliver a product.
well, you shouldn't be doing that without checking
Not
first
that
with the
kind
manager.
of product.
My vocoder basically then pipes up. We're here to see Tremayne.
Oh, right, yeah, fair enough. Posh bloke, okay.
Posh bloke.
Her accent is pure Croydon. As in, we'll never get out of Croydon alive. Yes.
I hold up my hand, but
yes.
I will probably fully admit that I am not your typical Croydon.
No, it's like me saying, the accent's pure Thanet. Yeah, my accent isn't, despite it technically should be. So, as she steps aside, a guy, you assume bouncer, on the grounds that he's in a slightly smarter suit. Although he's still, very, very big and clearly, boxes bears as a hobby, judging by the scars. Looks at you, looks at the case, and gestures up a flight of stairs.
Whose turf are we on here?
Far as you know, it's basically neutral because there's sufficient corpo presence.
Right.
That they can at least keep the bodies off the floor. NCPD actually give a toss if people find bodies around here.
Okay, cool.
Just a note of roleplay. Dandelion has been bobbing his head to whatever is playing at the moment, even though it is not his typical style.
Yep. This is like a heavied up version of Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter.
Yeah.
And Naboo has put in hearing protection.
Yeah. Okay, about halfway up the stairs, the sound just stops.
Ooh.
Oh, fancy. It's one of those.
Your ears all pop simultaneously as the constant noise is no longer impacting your eardrums. And it actually, for a second, you have to do that whole weird open mouth yawning. For the audio damps. Okay, so you can head up. And
now that just wasn't nice. I'd still like to listen to that.
And at the top is a door which stands open, leading to a row of 3 more doors and a suite marked, a door marked private employees only.
3 more doors and a Sauron.
Yeah.
Can Electrum have an electronics check to figure out how they're doing that?
You can.
Cool. That's a 20.
Okay. Right. The answer is yes. What they're doing is they are projecting opposing sound air pulses.
Right, okay.
And they are countering the sound waves.
Good to know.
An actual war of sound.
They are actually, yes, it is. If you could listen to the infrasound, then you would actually hear an opposing drum beat, but made purely of gusts of air.
Yeah.
But this is basically disrupting the audio at the air movement level.
Cool.
Yeah, you've all got audio things, and they've just turned off your ears. But it's high tech for a crappy little builder's bar.
And is slightly more high tech than the solution that Electrum had been expecting.
Well, this place is called Club Vibro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Look, Electrum would never do that for when Dandelion is stationed. There's no suggestion that he might do that when his boyfriend is singing or anything like that.
Okay. As you step off the top step, the nearest door slides open, and you hear a "Come in, dear boy."
Through the vocoder again. Tremayne, I presume?
Yes. Come on
have
in.
Your package.
Yes, I know. No, all of you inside, please. I'd like to get a good look at you all.
Sorry, you said dear boy. I thought you were referring to one person that wasn't me.
Everybody into the pool, please.
I like this one.
Okay, Chris.
Hello.
The Dark
Yes.
has attended on Tremayne at his request. Basically, you have no specific mission as yet.
No.
But you have been retained, and you are on retainer, because a group he is planning to make use of have recently lost their fire support.
I see.
Like this afternoon, recently.
How unfortunate.
So you were called in this morning to work alongside. You only know of Electrum thus far. That's the only point of contact.
Okay.
And they are making delivery of an item which is something of a test, you gather. But you've basically been sat here in the suite where Tremayne is staying, making use of his free bar. At least you assume it's free. It's a bar.
In Night City.
Yeah.
Let's say that he's been practical in his approach to that assumption more than anything else.
You were offered a drink when you first arrived, and you've been on refills every time he turns around since.
That's fair.
Oh, fish! No.
What is he? What's it on now?
Maybe he's a surveillance op, a Peking duck.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we were all poking a little fun there, but he topped it.
Yep.
Yes.
That's fair. No, good old raw duck. Yes.
Yeah, you're waiting for the contents of the box through Chris's character. What?
Yes.
Some
Yeah, suddenly
assembly
you
required.
open the box and they just sit up. Hello.
Yeah. No. Oh no. I don't know. I would hope that Drop wouldn't pull a Simon and River Tam on us.
Oh, that'd be fantastic,
I
though.
wouldn't, because I don't watch and have never watched Firefly.
That's fair.
However, I am
thinking-
familiar with.
I was thinking of that time, I think it was in ancient China, where someone delivered themselves to the emperor wrapped up in a roll of carpet.
Oh yeah.
No.
That was
supposed to have
your
done
classic
that
Cleopatra.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Whether that's true or not, though, I mean, but it's certainly one of the myths that
Yeah. You've
circulates.
got to admit,
that.
you knew how to make an entrance
Oh yeah,
Well-
definitely.
and lay a carpet.
It's no different than having yourself shipped in a giant cake to royalty to surprise them.
Yeah.
How many
a little
royals have
fuzzier.
actually had someone jump out of a cake at them?
I don't want to know that,
No.
especially about the current royals.
Don't. Andrew's always been an embarrassment. Just don't.
Yeah. Don't really want to go there.
No.
No, it's fine. It's I'll say this. I'll say that Raw Duck is obviously if he's been offered a drink, he'll take it. It's been a few refills. Again, he's been sensible. He's been practical as far as he's concerned. He's being retained. He's on the job in a sense.
Okay. Yep.
So if he's in the suite with Tremayne,
Yep.
he'll probably, if he's allowed to sit, he'll sit. He'll have his he'll have his sword sheathed across his lap, and he'll have all the rest of his stuff in a carry-all off to his side for all the stuff he needs to bring with him when he goes with these people.
I have visions of it being in a carrier bag. Then I was just like,
No, like a sports bag, like a
Yeah.
duffel, basically.
yeah, like it was
I
something
mean-
that was bad for life or something.
Actually, given Mac, I mean, Mac's probably did have most of his things like in a Tesco bag or something.
I think I see him more as being Aldi, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but was Max nearly so suave and like business-like looking?
Hey.
Max was cool.
Max was our associate.
He was.
You were about to say he was our friend, and yes, he was at least my friend. But I mean, I don't know if it went both ways.
Electrum doesn't really have friends.
Yeah.
Electrum has people he is working with.
Electrum
Yes.
has people he met.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Electrum has people he's using.
Give
you
it.
are an acquaintance of
Give
mine.
it. Give it
Not-
another.
Like,
give it
not
another
that that actually comes across. Like, Electrum just comes across as shy.
Mm. Give it another 10 sessions, and we'll get to like Choom levels. We'll work from there.
Another
I
10
don't
sessions,
think
you
it-
might get out of the moon.
Yeah, I don't think Electrum is calling anybody Chew.
Well, that's his call.
Yeah.
Yet, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Darn found family.
Yeah.
Wait, what is Chew?
Choom or Choombata
Choomba.
is its friend, buddy,
Friend, mate.
bub, mate.
Kind of. Yeah.
Dandelion probably calls everyone Chew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chew.
Yes, friend mixed with business associate, so Choom. Yes.
Origin is one of the African dialects, but I'm not sure which one.
Yes.
Which is where Choombata comes from, and then you get shortened to Choom.
Makes sense.
Okay. I will try to put that into my dialect.
Yeah.
There
There
is a really useful list of Knights Cyberpunk slang in the front of the CP Red book.
Yeah.
I glanced at it, read some, and was like, I'm not going to remember any of it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Just bet you all you need to do is things like flatlining someone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That'd be killing them.
Yep.
Biz is anything dodgy. Technically
Oh,
business,
that
but
won't come up.
Yep.
That won't come up with us. We do everything above board.
The one that I'm having trouble getting my head around is that so Ferris is my output.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I know. That one I'm not entirely sure about, to be honest. It's chipping in I always trip over because, of course, that's a legitimate English term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means sort of, everyone giving cash.
Yeah, paying your way. And,
paying away. And it actually means getting involved, starting something.
Yeah.
Which is subtly different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we use that over here in the States in such fashion. So
What, chipping in?
yeah, to get involved, to do something. It's not always about money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
So that's presumably where it comes from in the game.
Quite possibly.
I guess maybe. I mean, in conversation, you can chip into a conversation.
Yeah, you can chip in to give a hand.
Okay.
Really?
It's yeah.
I wouldn't use it that way.
It's been used to me.
Thinking in terms of UK,
regional.
you're more likely to find someone chipping in. Everyone will chip in to pay for a meal at the end of the night out, for example. That sort of thing.
Like, I mean,
That's how I'm used to seeing.
presuming that the etymology is casino related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, sorry, we're going down yet another tangent.
There's some rabbit holes there. Let's dive down them. Yeah, exactly, Fish. Okay, so yes, you can walk in lugging the crate. And
I'll precede the crate so that they can follow me in, because I know it's heavy and I just want to make sure the path's
okay,
clear
you
for
can
them.
limp your way in.
Yeah, you shouldn't be carrying heavy things anyway with broken leg right now.
So, Chris, would you like to describe your character?
Yes. You find people sat down this kind of young-looking young man of Asian ethnicity, of Chinese ethnicity, by the look of him, with sort of wild black hair, with some part of it coming down over one side of his face, almost his eye, and a slightly edgy-looking, I suppose, hairstyle.
An edgy edge runner? Oh my god!
Apparently,
my head's not long enough yet. I can't go for like the full
he's
anime emo look.
Yeah,
You're getting there.
sort of a very
Can't even see
sort of a neutral expression as he's looking at each of you as you come in. The clothing he wears seems to be very practical, a mixture of leisure wear and an armor jack and all the usual kind of stuff. Across his lap, he appears to have what looks like a futuristically sharpened and decked out version of a Chinese jian, a straight sword, basically. And a duffel bag next to him, which has some interesting bulges coming out of it that indicate other weapons and nothing
I do
illicit.
not want to see your bulges.
No.
Right, would the rest of you then like to describe your characters, both for the benefit of Chris and because it's been several episodes?
Just real quick, would you describe some of those bulges as explosive?
No, I would not.
Sorry, that was...
It's a fair question.
Are you excited to see me, or are you just carrying a lot of guns?
No. Anyway, yes.
Children.
You didn't say that we had to be adults here.
Very true.
Hello, Magpie. Welcome to the stream.
Yes.
Sure.
No.
While we wait for the others to recompose,
They're decomposing at this stage.
Electrum, you see a South Asian young man, probably about early 20s, or late teens. It's hard to tell. He's only 5'6", so it's a little hard to tell his age. He's got tech hair. Actually, what other fashion wear am I wearing? I keep forgetting. I have
That's
got.
the point. You can tell your hair what style it's going to have any given day.
Oh, that would be.
Like depending on how good your observation is, like he's got tech hair and purple skin shift axe, or his eyes are purple basically.
All right.
Yeah.
To you, and his hair is currently short, spiky, and matching. He's dressed in terms of the setting, urban flash, but you can probably tell that is armored as well.
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, and he is like, as soon as he always has his agent in his hand, or rather, he walks in with his agent in his hand. You don't know that that's an always thing, but
Yeah.
But,
Habitually.
yeah. And actually, as he enters, you see him tap out on his agent, and a voice emits from it, speaking for him, as he says, "We have package as requested, Tremayne, and we are here as you asked."
He's shy. Okay. Molia, would you like to describe Naboo?
Okay. Naboo is in her mid to late 30s, mostly Eastern European descent, slightly standoffish, but dressed. It's nominally urban flash, but more like toddler on acid. So things like, at the moment she's wearing a pink tutu with leggings that have little cross things all up and down the legs, a fuzzy gray sweater, leather jacket, and big stumpy boots. Her hair she does have tech hair. It's currently almost but not quite white, short and spiky, sort of going in all sorts of directions. She also has a light tattoo on the inside of her left arm that is amber and in the shape of a Lithuanian tree of life.
Ah, nice.
Okay. Robinson.
That's my name.
I think we are awaiting a description of Hideo.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
What does Hideo look like?
Oh, sorry.
I would imagine he makes a bit of an impression as he comes in.
I was reading the slang page, and I was getting really engrossed.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's really well done.
Yeah, there was just a lot of like. What caught me off guard was the hydro for hydrogen. So,
Yeah.
I was actually just ended up googling about hydrogen cars.
Oh, the curiosity rabbit hole.
Yes.
So we know nothing.
This is the problem with playing online when Google is just there.
No. I've had to switch all my stuff off to make the connection good, so I can't be tempted unless I want to lose connection.
It looks like a
I mean,
German
I
idiot.
successfully managed to close Discord at the start of the stream, so I at least haven't
well
been
done.
distracted by random conversations my friends are having.
Very true.
Okay,
Smart.
however, describe Hideo, please.
Okay, so Hideo is... Are we just going for, like, the full physical description?
Yeah, what does he look like? As he
Okay,
walks in through the door. Well, yeah, as he walks in through the door, what does he look like?
So Hideo is East Asian, which means there is now 2 Asians in the group. I
3.
believe. 3, is there?
Chinese, South Asian, and East Asian.
Oh, yeah.
Japanese.
I remember that. I promise I have good memory. At least I used to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Hideo has short and spiky hair. Apparently, he's going for the 2000s anime protagonist look.
Of course.
His power is over 9,000.
Yeah.
That'd be long and spiky.
So he's I can't find the thing for his clothing now because I don't remember actually what his style is.
Confused, I thought.
Hang on, it's on the second page. Okay, it's bag lady. Oh, he's poor looking.
Bag lady, bag lady chic.
Yeah.
That was a very tempting choice.
I had to go and actually look that up because I could not get my head around it at all. That's
Basically how I dress in real life.
Oh no, not even remotely.
yeah. Maybe we'll go for that one.
Most of my clothes.
No, yours is more, I don't know, young Victorian. fortune
Young
teller.
Victorian t-shirt.
So bohemian, basically.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say closer to bohemian than bag lady chic. Bag lady chic is how I dress.
I will pretend I understand all of these fashion terms.
T-shirt, jeans, or t-shirt and jogging bottoms. 99% of the time. I'm sorry, that's
Comfortable and practical.
That sounds more like leisure wear.
yeah, maybe. Leisure wear
Anyway.
to me always says probably Russian gangster, but I blame the fact that I watch Night Watch at an impressionable age.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry.
yes,
Sorry.
and the other, of course, important thing about Hideo is, of course, he's in the Rocklin chair.
Yeah, I have got to update his description because all I've done is write down like 4 notes.
Yes.
I don't really have a
Keywords from
description for him,
The
evidently.
life path.
Okay, Shard.
So, Dandelion stands about 6'3" when not limping and using a crutch, but not a whole lot of muscle, more skinny tall. He's got very, very dark skin with a green hue because chem skin, but he's sub-Saharan in ancestry. He's got this big old banjo case on his back. Well, might look like a guitar case coming in like that, but it's always on him. And he's dressed in. When you said bohemian, I was like, hell yeah, because I'm already dressed that way. I'm with the style and the times.
Folksy, retro, and free-spirited. For your markets,
yeah.
your management recommends bohemian dress.
So it's very bohemian. I got a wide-brimmed hat for armor, flashy tech jewelry. Not quite bohemian, but it's flashy. And then I've got mirror shades because retro, from the 90s.
Yep.
And I'm thinking probably a plaid top and cargo pants for the bottoms, but they're a little bit ragged on the ends, just stylishly ragged.
Yeah.
So 90s skater boy.
Yes.
Well, there's an image.
I mean,
with a big
that's.
hat.
I mean,
And a big hat.
Cyberpunk is an 80s, 90s thing, so
Yeah.
So
Okay.
hang on, you're more what some 41 style or
Yes.
Avril Lavigne kind of
I
thing?
think he's
or-
been to the year 3000 and not much has changed,
Oh,
but the world
God.
is underwater.
No one is emulating Busted in style.
Nice.
I'm trying to remember. I recognise that name.
Well, as Busted,
Yeah, but like
Boy band.
yeah. Boy
I
band.
know, but like there's no way I ever deliberately went out and learned the name of a boy band at some point, because they must have done something somewhat relevant to my interests at some point for me to remember the name.
If I recall correctly, weren't they the younger siblings of the people who were in McFly?
Oh,
No.
they
No,
did
but they
the
did
Thunderbird
merge the two
movie.
Yes,
bands
theme song.
I was about to say they
Okay.
did the theme song for the newest Thunderbirds movie.
Yeah.
I would say
but
the
we can't
newest. It
hold-
was like 2003.
Yeah,
then
but we can't hold that
good.
against them, to be honest.
Yeah. I actually quite like that theme song.
No,
It's
the music was the best thing about the film.
Yeah.
I liked some of the redesigns, like
Yes.
the drill, and the drill, and the drill.
Yeah. Yeah, the mold.
Now I've got that song going through my head. It's not a bad song, but
I
it's
can't
going to stay with
call
me.
it so I'm safe.
Okay, so Knight.
So CAD stands about 5'8" tall. They're of Pacific Islander descent. Clothing is generic chic, but clearly armored.
Yep.
And rather than being what normally for generic chic is slightly more form-fitting, CAD wears theirs slightly not oversized, but it's roomy. It's practical. There's room to maneuver.
Yeah.
And it has pockets.
Oh, very important.
Yeah. They also carry a backpack that has bulges in some interesting places.
Excellent. We shall get along just splendidly.
Somebody's going to have to buy hard luggage so that there are no bulges.
Their sleeves are rolled up to the elbow, and on the inside of their forearms, on the inside of the right forearm, you can see a light tattoo of Caduceus, and on the inside of the left forearm, you see a light tattoo of the rod of Asclepius.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, the last thing you see as they beat you into your next incarnation are symbols of healing.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to tell what he does for a living at the very least.
CAD uses they.
Yeah. Not that you know this yet, of course.
Not that you know that then, but no.
No, but the point is that
just for future reference.
The point is that Duck can take one look at his forms and just think, right, okay, so he's the med tech.
Yep. Yeah, that's the med tech. Yeah, definitely.
The one with the broken leg, he looks very showy. He's probably the rocker boy.
Yep.
The tutu lady, I'm not so sure what she is.
I forgot that I do have tech hair as well.
Oh, for goodness sake! Everyone's got it.
I mean, we have
cheap.
Cat doesn't have tech hair.
Yeah.
Their hair is dyed green, as far as you can see, shaved down that side and flopped over that side.
Yeah.
You know, it might be shaved down that side and just
that's a good
over that way
point.
for today. Might be over the other side tomorrow.
That's actually a good point. As for Duck, since I didn't mention it, you do see that both of his eyes are cybernetic, and he has something around his nose that suggests he might have like nasal filters. But otherwise, if he has any other cyberware, then his clothes cover it.
Imagine being able to afford both eyes.
I'm suddenly having a Trapped on Titan moment from Judge Dredd, as far as the nose filter goes. Okay.
Yeah, technically Naboo has two cyber eyes as well, but they're sort of camouflaged to look.
Yeah.
What a brilliant idea, Fish.
I was so frugal with my purchases. I bought the cyber eyes, but there's nothing installed on them yet.
Yeah, I have a wish list as well. As long as the cyber arm I want to buy for Electrum. But actually, yes, in terms of visible cyberware, tech hair, the shift axe. You can also see a biomonitor on his wrist, and you can see that one of his hands is slightly cybered. Not like it's actually a cyber hand, but you
No.
suspect that there is some cyber. You can see things that suggest that there is cyberware.
Yeah, there's a piece of cyberware installed in the meat arm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you went the icky
Chair
route.
count as a visible piece of cyberware.
Yeah, he's got a tool hand basically.
One thing I
you'll
did
know
miss with
that.
CAD. CAD does have shift tacks, and they're styled to look like snake's eyes.
Ooh, very nice.
And there are also interface plugs on the other wrist to
Oh,
the
fantastic.
monitor.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. I was muted.
If you can come up with advertising, Shard, then I am willing to give you a few creds, a few eds a month in sponsorship. On the grounds that potentially it might get you into trouble at some point of my choosing. Just saying.
I'm okay with this. Until I do the ads, it's going to still be the dates of what I'm playing on stage.
Yes.
'Cause
a chance to make money and to actually have interesting things happen in the plot. Why? What's? I see no problem with this.
Like, I don't understand.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway.
So, yes, please come in. Put that down carefully. So nice to see you all. Terribly sorry that your comrade in arms couldn't make it. I gather he's doing his own thing now.
His name is Max, not Conrad.
So, yes, please help yourselves to drinks.
Do you have coffee?
Yes, I have coffee.
Good.
It has coffee.
Hooray, coffee!
Wait.
Actual. I mean, it's in pods.
Have any of us had actual coffee before? Would we know what it smelled like?
The rich ones would, or the ones from a rich background.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That I do.
Then if there's real coffee on offer, then Nabu will pretend like she's had some before, but
So I see everybody's going to be hyped up on caffeine for the rest
This
of the
is
summer.
sort of like the
Oh, no.
people
I'm
who
not
aren't
gonna-
familiar with coffee try it for the first time, pretending they're very familiar, and then make that face.
I'm just gonna take one cup and I'm gonna sip that one cup the entire time.
Okay.
Slowly.
This is my
Yeah,
baby now, and I shall keep it.
Yeah, like Electrum's. Those who know him, Electrum's eyes definitely light up as far as you have seen them.
Let's face it, they could literally do so in this game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, he
Coffee
definitely,
detected.
he definitely helped himself to
little strings.
Yeah.
coffee.
Nice.
Yes,
and
it's a little espresso cups, basically.
It's like that
Of
joke
course.
where it's like the eye can, the pupil dilates 50% when you
Yes.
see something you love, and then it's just the entire eye. Is not...
Yeah. And Nabu will be quietly murmuring notes into her agent for a future article on the luxury of the coffee, possibly be spun in an anti-corp sort of attitude, like see the things that they are hiding from the plants.
You're looking for fair trade, and now I've had my first real coffee ever. I can see beyond the veil.
CAD will
somehow will
abjectly not touch the coffee and look for water.
That is there.
This entire group, except for like 2 people, is going to be addicted to caffeine by the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
the one
that's
that can
how
be
they get
keeping you
you.
alive is not going to be buzzing their head off until the crash.
That's fine. You were still looking to make pharmaceuticals, weren't you?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I was.
Okay. Okay.
But then if I have the pharmaceutical skill.
Yeah, that would be for making actual medical drugs. It is just chemistry, if I recall correctly.
I have that too.
I have looked that up.
Yes, I have
I
that
asked. Okay. Apparently, what do I do if my medtech wants to start making drugs is a really common question. So I don't know.
I can believe it.
Yeah.
Having run games in the past where the medtech has said that very thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got visions leafing through, okay, painkillers,
Yeah, well, usually
anticoagulants, synth coke, right? Okay, no, you don't want that one.
Yeah, usually the meds that are listed in like you can make this. It's like I'm not actually interested in making drugs. I want to make actual medicines.
Yeah, this you can make medicines and you can make actual drugs. Just worry if they start giving you black lace or something. Okay. So, yeah.
I'm not going to make the very niche puns.
I know. Yes, you think you are Superman. Okay. So, user takes 2d6 humanity loss upon taking a dose. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure if anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anyone pushing a pineapple would have thought that was going to be the result.
You push this pineapple, it'll shake your tree. Yeah. Okay, so, okay, keep it together, Drop. It's fine. There is plot in this, I promise. Yes. Tremayne will turn to Vorduck and say, this gentleman is going to be accompanying you on your next little outing on my behalf. Very useful skills, and I think you'll find him an excellent replacement for your late lamented comrade.
Oh, so Max is dead, is he?
Yeah, I at the same time, Electron's vocal. Max isn't dead.
No, so far as I know, he's not dead.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I was going to say he was to be at the van back.
No, he's just gone to a farm.
Then I'm not inclined to lament him.
Did he buy that farm that he's gone to?
Hey.
He's gone to the farm where he can play with other solos and have plenty of space to run around.
Free range. Free range.
I should take out the I once wrote a limerick triad that tried to fit as many euphemisms for dying in as possible to read at an artistic poetic funeral.
I've just decided what I need to have happen at my wake. Okay. Right. Yes. He will be operating alongside you, and before I forget, he reaches for his agent, and those of you present, obviously not including Duck, receive your share of 2,500
money.
Ebs.
Yep, that's
what. We have money.
500 apiece then.
No, because it's
divided by
ways.
6.
Yeah. Oh yes, even Max gets, but that's fair.
Yeah, Max does get a share.
Yeah.
Yes, I have arranged for this transfer, so the next time that Max visits his bank, this will be available to him.
What is a sixth of 20?
420, I believe.
It's 420 you get.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done.
Tab on the
Never underestimate me.
character sheet. Or just
Wouldn't dream of it.
Yes, under where is it? Oh, there
Underneath ammunition.
Next to life path.
Meanwhile, while you're all sorting that out, basically, as you say, Raw Dog will basically look over all of you and then just say, "Pleasure to meet you all."
Excellent.
So how much are we getting each again?
420.
Electrum agent basically says, "Pleased to meet you."
Okay.
I'm going to be picking you up off the floor. What's your blood type? Hi, I'm Cat. You can call me Caduceus so we get to know each other better.
Hi, I'm Raw Duck. Oh, positive.
Noted.
Okay.
That was straightforward.
Yep. Right. So, actually, I suppose you'd quite like to know what you've been shipping.
Oh, you're going to let us see it? That would be interesting.
Well,
I honestly couldn't care less. take it from A to B, we get paid, I'm happy.
How fresh is the pork?
Not curious then. Interesting.
I am.
Okay.
If you're in a sharing mood.
Well, why not? Okay. You might like to see my little toys. So, he leans forward and taps in a code on the lock. There is the obligatory pneumatics releasing, and the case opens itself flat.
Is there smoke?
No, there isn't.
Dry ice effect.
No, there's no dry ice effect. It's okay. There's nothing organic.
Overhand's body.
And it's basically the whole case splits in half, so that it's not a lid and a body. It's two halves of the body. In one is strapped what looks for all the world like a Chinese doll. Traditional dress, porcelain face and hands, about 3 feet long, and with the obligatory kung fu movie plimsolls.
Of course.
And on the other side is a tank. It looks like a toy tank. It is
Like an actual tank? Like
yes, it's about
I
yay big.
want it!
It's about yay big, has treads.
I want it even more.
Has legs inside the wheels on the treads to adjust the spacing on the tracks so that they're always kept taut.
Nice.
Is there like a hole in the top of the tank specific for the doll to fit into?
There is no hole, there is a hatch. Both of these have Militech stamps on them. The doll down the side of her neck and the tank on both sides. Demonstration models. I do have a fondness for such things, and I do have grandchildren.
Fascinating.
You gotta spoil your grandchildren.
Yes, exactly.
I wish my grandparents were like that.
The missiles fired by the tank are only small. However, I am reliably informed that they would take out that wall. And it in and of itself does contain an artificial intelligence of almost reportable level.
So, good to know that these will be in the hands of the future leaders of tomorrow.
Oh, these won't be. I've acquired them. However, they're full-size counterparts. And he reaches down and picks up the doll. And of course, I do have a granddaughter. I wouldn't want her to be left out. Presses a button concealed somewhere on her back. And the doll hops off his knee, drops to the floor, and starts running through Kung Fu Kata.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so adorable. I'm going to step back and not get any closer because it's Militech, but it is adorable.
Yeah. We are talking authentic, several hundred years old style wushu.
Nice.
So we're, anyone with an interest in martial arts will recognise that. And finishes with a stopped punch at the arm of the chair next to which she is standing, leaving a crack running through the plastic of the armrest.
It is wonderful to see that some family like to take care of their own.
That's what I was thinking. Harmless little thing, isn't she?
Oh, totally harmless.
And he flicks the switch off and carefully lays her back down in her carrying case. You've basically been wandering around with con demonstration models, for want of a better term.
Honestly,
Con-demonstration models of the sort of things that would be displayed at an arms fair.
Oh, yeah.
I am honestly perfectly okay with this particular delivery.
Right.
Yeah.
So, since that's done and dusted, this whole campaign's about dolls. There is a theme, isn't there, Fish?
Yes, thank goodness this one wasn't broken, or you would all be dead.
Yes. Yeah, that would be an interesting fight.
I was expecting something along the lines of ED209 during that demonstration.
I wouldn't put it past her.
20 seconds to comply. It's really hard to do that voice and maintain it, but it's quite fun.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, your next gig. I've been contacted by a member of a research team who is trialling a new designer drug. Advance several hundred years, Robinson, and learn AI. Okay. He is uncomfortable with it being sold to a limited market and wishes to expand its reach. What this practically means is that he would very much like to sell a sample of the manufacturing device for said drug. And I would very much like to acquire it. Now, I understand there are some difficulties with obtaining it himself, so I said that I would have some people pop along and he could explain to you what it is exactly he's attempting to sell. You are perfectly authorised to yay or nay it. If it's nay, though, I would like a very good reason.
Fair enough.
So far as I know, the rich and famous of Night City have been making use of this designer drug. The only thing we can find that it is referred to as is milkshake.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Oh no. No, don't go.
Look, I have to. I am a music artist, and I'm supposed to be smarmy. I have to.
Okay.
Yep.
If I can inflict the most pain possible.
I admire your craft, yeah.
I think the most pain is trying to avoid all the obvious puns.
Do you know anything about this drug? What it's supposed to do? Any side effects?
It has a mild euphoric effect, from what we've heard. However, the primary effect is increased energy, improved skin tone, and improved muscle and tendon flexibility.
Interesting. I can see how that would be fun to use.
Yeah, Naboo will just.
That's
a little bit thinking about.
What about the downsides?
The implications.
Downsides are that we don't know enough about the downsides to know what the downsides are. I don't have the trial data. I assume this is part of what my contact will be wishing to sell.
Are we looking for pills, liquids, syringes?
So far as we know, liquids, but the dosing happens in controlled situations. It's not released onto the street.
Specifically, we're most likely looking for the actual chemical compound and how it's made.
How it's made for a good show.
There does appear to be a degree of personalisation, but I have no details on that.
That's the case with a lot of medications. Different people metabolize differently.
Yes.
So, Electron's Vycoda agent pipes up. So you want us to meet with your contact?
Yes, if you could. He is going by the name of Capra, and you'll be meeting him at a storage yard and warehouse. I gather he'll be meeting you inside the warehouse, and he will give you an address in the Glen, which is in one of the rebuilding zones.
I'd like to clarify in terms of timing, because I know you like things done promptly. We do have one other thing that we do have that is kind of good. What's the word? Urgent on our side. Is there a time frame in which we need to meet with the agent and get this done?
Yes, within the hour.
Well, shit. I guess our urgent task can wait that long.
I gather there is a limited time frame that the employee can be away from their station without drawing undue attention.
That's to meet with him. Does he have to be away when we go in and get it? You don't know. We have to meet with him. That's fine.
Yes, in order to define the parameters of the mission, your job is to meet with him, to garner as much information about this substance as possible, and then to use your best judgment as to how to obtain a sample of the manufacturing equipment and ideally the formula.
Fair enough.
If you can also obtain the current client list, that would be extremely useful and worth a bonus.
Oh, bonuses. We do like those. So, Duck, you don't have a problem running with a new team?
Not at all. Hopefully things will go better than the old team.
Either was intentionally meant to be ominous, or he actually did end up killing his old team.
I suspect cannibalism at this stage.
Cat, is that right? What
no.
happened to the old team?
They all flatlined. Through no fault of mine, I must admit. Sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Yeah, but if they were edge runners, the odds are pretty good that they weren't good people.
No, he's kind of, he's just, he's, it's a dangerous job we do. I'll do my best to keep you all alive.
And I'll do my best to keep you alive.
I appreciate that.
Right. Okay.
Electrum sends a message to everyone's agent. It's a yes from me.
I'm
good.
By the agent, I'm in.
Same.
Excellent. And without me telling you how much you're going to be earning.
No. We didn't actually tell.
That hasn't been out.
This is over the agent between us.
Yeah, that was text.
Oh,
sorry.
good point. Sorry. Yes, as far as you know.
Yes. He just knows. Yeah. He just knows. Tremayne is that good.
So, what are we looking at in terms of payment?
For attending the basic meeting, you're looking at 250 eds each. For planning the extraction, the same again. If you can supply me with the equipment, then that will be around 1,000 in total. The client list will earn you an extra 200 eds per person.
That's like a tenth of a railgun.
Don't we also have to pay for rent, though?
Yes, or 1 month's rent if you're thinking practically.
Yeah.
Plus an extra 100 if you wanted to, I don't know, splurge out.
Things in railguns.
The 1,000 would have been for all of us or each?
Each.
1,000 each.
Nice. Okay. Is it okay though? I don't know how to tell.
It is a month's living expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. According to...
And that's just for successfully completing the bit that was requested.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Plus a little bit. Like, the fact that this is 1,500 off the bat, if we are successful, is a month's living wages plus a bit extra.
Also, we're getting paid up front for doing the meeting and then also for planning the extraction. We're getting 500 whether we're successful or not.
You're going to be paid 250 for attending this meeting.
Yeah.
And yes, I am willing to pay that up front. However, everything else will be billed retrospectively.
I'm going to message everyone on my agent. So I don't have a lot of bartering skills. Do we want to try and barter up?
Would be good.
Anyone willing to give it a shot?
If only we had a
I don't know.
someone
Maybe
that could do the deal better.
Someone who has skills specific to bartering.
Yeah. Fixer, that's the one. If only we had a fixer.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing that on purpose.
Yeah. I have an 11 in persuasion, if that would work.
Yeah, I've got 12 in persuasion. I've got... No, I'm not trying to outdo you, because either way we could help each other.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's not a competition. It's
would it just be straight persuasion in this?
I will tell you, Tremayne does have a better base than that.
I'm sure.
Resist coercion.
Business.
There's always the chance of exploding, you know.
There is indeed always the chance of exploding. And when someone's standing there with a kung fu doll and
actually,
a tank that
you know
can
what?
take out a wall.
Electrum has faded into the background.
I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. I want to do a human perception. I think that would be the right one.
Okay.
I want to gauge whether or not not Electrum, Tremayne would either respect us more for trying, even if we failed to barter, or to not barter at all.
Okay. Make me a human perception check.
Okay, so that is a 19.
So it was an 18 difficulty, so that's fine. Okay. You can tell he's a man who respects order by the very organised way he has dealt with this. Whether bartering would threaten that sense of order or it would show initiative, you're not 100% certain.
So it's probably going to be...
You do know that he doesn't like people messing him around. Any attempts to have wavered from his very strict timelines has
he shut that down.
Doesn't seem to be broke. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of what to say in terms of not fucking with him, but actually showing that we deserve extra.
Well, if you want to try and phrase it like that.
Because we not only pulled off his job and pulled it off well and got his equipment here when he wanted it. Mm-hmm. It was here in one piece, and we did so while also dealing with an issue that had nothing to do with us and got into a firefight before we could come back. That's how I'm wording it.
Okay, make me a persuasion check based on that.
Shit.
Pay me
That's exactly what I was about to type.
20. What's 12 plus 11?
23.
Or, sorry, 12 plus 12, 24.
Okay. So unless that explodes, that's a natural one. Screw that. Okay.
It exploded.
Oh, good point. Yes. How badly did he hose? Okay. Well, he's still in positive numbers. Right. Okay, that's fairly awesome. I suppose I could stretch to the planning phase. Yes. Indeed. He taps out on his agent, and all of you receive 500 eds in 2 batches of 250 each.
I shall note that down.
You will be expected, therefore, to finance your own expenses, although anything egregious I may be able to bill the client for afterwards.
Okay, sounds good.
Keep the receipts.
Will do.
You know me.
Yes, and by receipts I do mean paper copies, ideally, electronic failing that, and not the body riddled with the bullets, because that just got complicated. Proving how many you'd spent.
Naboo clearly writes that last bit down.
Naboo is a media. Naboo is familiar with expenses culture.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it would just be easier to keep our receipts in general, just to see how much we spend.
Okay. So, I will apologise. I'm not going to be running much longer because my.
Oh no, that's fine.
That's fine.
On its way out. So, we will send you off again. Public transport.
Hey, we're not carrying around a coffin anymore.
No,
because that was a coffin. It had a body in it.
Yes. Troop downstairs, and
for all that if anyone saw them on the way back, they might actually think that the new Chinese guy was the guy in the coffin. They revived him.
Yeah, it's getting quite late now. It is getting quite late, so you are being sent to the warehouse district. After dark.
We're going to get mugged.
Ooh.
Yeah,
no, you won't.
I think that's probably the least of your worries.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you say the warehouse district, as in near the port?
No, it is in Glen. It is in the Glen. It's that there is an area that has been blocked out for warehousing, because that's where all of the building supplies has been shipped.
Mm-hmm.
It's just any centralised access. The stuff comes in from the port, though, for the most part.
Oh, in which case, Electrum is probably vaguely familiar with the area then.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a million miles off where the clinic is.
Yeah.
So, you can indeed ride the bus and hop off at a stop unused by anyone else. During the workday, it's probably workmen. Construction labourers would use this. Right now, though, everything is pretty much shut, and the sites are shut down. So you can make your way to the address of the warehouse, and outside, at the back of the loading dock, you can see. Annoyingly, you can see the map I worked on. And it's only going to be in for 2 minutes now.
Can I just appreciate you for having a warehouse that actually has a proper loading dock? Because anyway, carry on.
Mate, I worked
My
in
favourite
retail.
part of when this map was loaded up, the different parts of it were just question marks, and then they slowly appeared one by one.
Basically, you're coming in from Mac North. Heading past what is an exterior fire escape, past a load of packing crates.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And just to show off, I really like these details.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah.
Some of them are labelled in Chinese, apparently.
Nice.
And this is from a company does the same one as does a load of the Cyberpunk portraits. So I will actually probably drop a link in for them, because they do some really, really nice stuff. And I've got a bunch of maps already, but this has let me customise them. So the base map itself is Loki, L-O-K-E, who have the official Cyberpunk contract.
Yeah.
However, all the things like the extra packing crates and stuff in the loading dock, they are by a different company, and they sell both the maps and the a map of their own, and all of the little components like dozens of different boxes, crates, pallets, all the stuff that you can use to build up an environment and make it a bit more dynamic. And therefore you can, of course, get more use out of the maps you've got. So I personally am well happy with that.
It's good.
Nice.
So I was ever so happy. I looked at it a couple of times and picked it up today. Maps in a pinch. It's
Maps
called.
in a pinch.
Lovely.
Yeah. Sorry, my apologies.
No, don't. It's fun.
So, right. Yep, you're heading in.
Is there any like name on the warehouse that we're passing, like to suggest who, like, what corp or company that this warehouse is assigned
There
to?
are several names. They all tend towards. Oh dear. Hello. So when you realise that your web browser has decided to wave its little legs in the air and cry. Yeah, man, you can do it. I've got faith in you. There we go. Sunset Industries, by the way, is the name of the people who made the extras for this map. And the portraits are well worth checking out. So, yeah, there are numbers of numerous names, but mostly small construction companies. There are a couple of larger corporations, but it's nothing that you can nail down.
Sure, so it's a hub warehouse rather
is,
than
yeah.
Right.
If it comes to actually building such things, basically corps will even cooperate with each other.
Yeah, okay. It's not like what I basically wanted to see was whether or not this was a warehouse belonged to a specific
No,
corp,
this
and there was
this
their
one
distribution
isn't.
site. Cool.
This one doesn't seem to be. And where there are signs up, there's a lot of kind of nailed up, effectively temporary neons, that sort of thing. So yeah, you're heading in from Map North, and as you approach, I share the map view. Is that one to share the map view? As you approach the back steps at the loading bay, you are taken by the sound of voices. And as you round the corner, or approach the corner, depending on how sneaky you want to be,
Very.
you see...
As sneaky as I can.
Okay. You have plenty of cover.
We slow down, or at least once we hear voices.
You slow down and you can hear a crusty old man's voice who talks like this and starts sounding off about this isn't the way he grew up. This is not what he signed up for. And a woman speaking in a lower, calmer, more polite voice. But again, ever so well planned, and the voice control is modulated in a way that isn't necessarily natural. And occasionally you can hear a couple of comments thrown in by another male voice. And yes, please fish. That would be appreciated. Glancing around the corner, bearing in mind it is night, the staircase is illuminated, and what you can see is a woman in smart suit with a microphone and a camera op to her right, filming her interviewing a elderly-ish man in overalls, and behind them, leaning up against a pile of pallets, is a flashily dressed young man who is occasionally throwing in disparaging comments and suggesting that the woman turn for a better effect on the lights, suggesting shots to the camera op, and basically pulling full director gig.
This old guy, is he your contact?
He does not match the description you have been given, which is of a young man of, I believe, Asian appearance, but don't quote me on that. Hang on, let me check. Oh no, it's not a young man. I take it back. It's a young woman.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I forgot which picture I used. No, it's a young woman of corporate appearance.
Corporate appearance?
Yes. Well, they do work for a corp.
Oh yeah, no, that just means that the lady that's doing the talking with the camera filming kind of fits that bill. She's dressed up nice, right?
She is dressed up nice. She's dressed up very much like a media would be dressed up if they made money.
Yeah. Oh, burn.
Got fired.
Something. Revenge is more important than money.
So what you hear is her lean in close and take a more intimate, nigh-on seductive tone.
Such a newbie.
So,
obviously, if she has to have a director there and a separate camera person, just obviously
you're not that kind of media.
Exactly.
So, Mr. Steen, can you just tell me what problems do you have in this job that you've been doing your entire life? And he looks at her and says, "Darling, the biggest problem is those damn smugglers. Turfed me out of my home. You go in, you find them. You going in? That's what you're paying me for. Well, I'm sure we can arrange recompense as agreed on the contract." You can hear muttering from the guy at the back, who you assume is the director. And then from inside, you hear a single gunshot.
Oh, great.
And we'll leave it there.
Ooh, exciting.
I'm trying to decide, like, do we get involved with this? Because I just want, I was just gonna say, I just kind of want to send a message to this Capra person and just see if we get a response from them instead of getting involved.
If you had their number.
That would be nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great?
How loud was this gunshot? Was it suppressed? Was it a big heavy gun?
It was. You would judge. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for it. You would judge handgun.
Okay.
Not suppressed, but not heavy.
Okay.
And I will take anyone who's got audio enhancement.
Oh.
I have, well, depends on what you mean by audio enhancement. I have recorder, scrambler, descrambler, and voice stress analyzer.
There's, I think there is an actual. There is
actually
there's an enhancement.
Basically super hearing,
yeah.
which I don't think you have.
I don't either. I just have a recorder.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So you miss out on that bit of information, but it's not important. Okay, so yep, we will leave it there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That was fantastic.
Exciting.
My voice feels better soon.
Yes, otherwise I'm streaming tomorrow. So.
Layout as possible.
Oh, goodness.
Okay. So, no, I am well happy with the way that map's come out. The
Yeah.
modifications
It's
on
a
that.
lovely map, yes.
I can't tell the difference between the bits I've placed if I didn't know. And what this applied, because they come with drop shadows. The cards I've placed, the extra tokens, they've been modified to work drop shadows, so they work exactly the same way as the basic map. Okay, I apologise that we did not get a vast amount done.
Are you kidding?
We got to meet Raw Duck.
Cool.
Yeah, we got to meet. We got to meet Raw Duck.
We got money.
got paid. twice.
I'd say that's about where I would have expected us to end up on this session.
New teammate got paid. It was a good day.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Max is not dead.
You even fixed up my leg real good. Like,
Yeah, that's my job.
There you go.
And Hamble's fate
Remains
dear.
unknown.
Yes, remains unknown for now. Okay, so I will call that there then. So as far as YouTube goes, that's the end of the stream. So thank you very much for watching.
Yay, thank you.
thanks.
So, yep, because I'd like to try for a cut
Bye,
off.
YouTube.
Yay, bye YouTube.
Cut off. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone.